It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast. Featuring
Fillmore's finest, Bonta here. The pride of the Excelsior, Joe Butcher Boy Shasky. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, the morning roast.
Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby. Good morning to everybody out there on a Wednesday morning. Man, it's already Wednesday. Weeks are flying as we get older in our day. Good morning, everybody. Sam Lubman on the board today. Look at him, looking all nervous. He's got his hurricane hoodie on. It's okay, Sam. Relax a little bit. It's all good.
He's worried about Mario Cristobal.
No, he's not worried about that. He's worried about Patella. You talk to him every day. It's Sam Lubman. It's like, so we could get into the Farhan sound and, this and that. Sam. Pump the brakes. Today's not the day for Farhan sound.
Put in a lot of work to get that Farhan sound.
Oh, I know you did. We'll use it. Just not today.
He asked a guru-like question on the Giants Farhan press. But you know what, though? On the real, I was very proud of you.
Oh, yeah.
Because asking questions...
It's not easy.
It's not. And I love that you're on that beat every day.
Yeah, no, he's doing a great job. But today's not the day about
thank
that.
You.
Yeah, today's not the day.
You're welcome.
We got Kyle Batson producing the show. He's got a cool hat on. What hat is that? Is that a Cal Berkeley hat? What's going on with
that?
Batson?
That was a Warriors hat. Come on, man.
Warriors hat. Old school Warriors hat. So we got Kyle Batson getting up in the morning. He's up with us. We got Shasky in the building. Good morning to YouTube, Twitch, and the Xfinity mobile text line. The Warriors played a preseason game last night. Their second to last preseason game against the Portland Trailblazers, and they look good. James Wiseman looked good. JaMychal Green looked good. DiVincenzo, 10 assists. Looked pretty damn good.
Bonta.
Moses Moody looked good.
Patrick Baldwin Jr., Ryan Rollins.
Good.
I don't know what PBJ will end up being.
Yeah.
In terms of a prospect, there's no way in hell he should have fell to where he did. Yeah. I know that they had ankle injuries and whatnot. You could tell he's a coach's son. He's played a ton of basketball, great fluidity, knows where to be on the court in terms of spacing. And then you look at the skill set that he possesses. I mean, he's 6'9", 6'10", 6'11". I'm not even sure because I think he's still growing. And his stroke looks beautiful from beyond the arc. Look, when it comes to identifying late-round talent, they've missed. Trust me, they've missed. They've also nailed some picks, and I feel like this PBJ is going to be somebody.
Listen, you don't hear anybody else saying, man, Bob Myers doesn't know how to draft. Their scouting department doesn't know how to draft. That ship has sailed.
I know.
With Kevon Looney.
That's a good point.
With Jordan Poole. Now Wiseman moving the way he did.
Wiseman looks so good.
Second possession, right? And I'm looking at him defensively. What position is he in?
Yeah.
Is he blocking shots?
Is he barbecue chicken?
Is he barbecue chicken?
Yeah.
Portland on the second possession of the game. They got Wiseman involved in a couple pick and rolls. They ISO'd him. And 3 different times, Wiseman switched on to 3 different dudes, and he was in the right position, hands up, didn't go for a fake, moved around well, and I said, okay, it's only one possession.
No.
But you could see he's starting to get it. The game is starting to slow down for him because offensively, he has all the tricks in the book. I mean, mid-range jumper, 3, around the rim, ripping the rim down. He's got it all offensively.
He's going to shoot 60 to 75% from the field, depending on how many long jumpers he takes, because he's just yamming around the rim.
Yamming.
I love how aggressive he is in terms of dunking on fools. My big takeaway, and defensively, that's a great point that you're talking about, because you cannot be a liability defensively in play. Period.
Yep.
And he was a foul machine his rookie year. Watching him box out and work underneath with Nurkic, because Nurkic is a legit NBA big man. I don't think he's elite by any standards, but if you can't box out Nurkic, you're going to have trouble against the real good players.
He's a quality big.
That's what
And he's a nice little measuring stick.
Exactly.
Going against Nurkic and, texting with Mully and looking at Twitter and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, Wiseman's holding his own. He doesn't look overwhelmed.
100%.
So I like where he's at.
He's boxing out, and he's clearing Nurkic back, which what Draymond does, and we'll get to him in a second. And then others were coming in for the rebound, those long bouncing rebounds. The other thing he did really well, ball on the rim, he's eating glass. He's jumping over dudes and yamming. Like the athleticism that this team now possesses with Wiseman and Kuminga and Moody, because I would throw him in there, to go baseline and basically get to the cup effortlessly. That's what you had back in the day when you had Barnes going baseline, and you had, obviously, Iggy, because he was a lot younger, going baseline. You threw in JaVale for some of the high-low lobs. They're starting to get that athleticism that I thought was one of their big Achilles heels the last couple of years.
No, you're spot on with that one. And look, man, he's eating glass, like you said. He's moving around well. He looks good off that knee injury. The confidence is up. Steph Curry, he was in the booth with Bob Myers in the third quarter on NBC Sports Bay Area, and he highlighted James Wiseman saying, I'm so proud of this kid.
Yeah.
He was in a dark place. We had a lot of conversations. He just continued to work, and he goes, I love where James Wiseman's at. To hear that from Stephen Curry was big time. So to know where Wiseman's at, know where Moody's at, and the way they're working together, they went out there and blew away the Portland Trail Blazers. Look, I know there was no Dame Dollar. I know the Warriors didn't have Steph Curry playing, Jordan Poole, Draymond Green, who we'll get to in just a second.
Yeah.
But they went out there and handled business. And they were playing. Yeah. And the one thing about the baby dubs, this is what I'm calling them, is that, the Warriors won a championship last year. But a lot of those guys didn't have an impact on that championship run. Mm-hmm. They look hungry, Shasky.
Yeah, they do.
They look hungry, and they're scrapping for minutes here saying, I want to play on this team, and I want to contribute to a back-to-back championship.
It's a really good point, and they do look hungry. And more than anything, it just feels like these guys realize minutes are at a premium, and so when you go in there, you can't just hover. You can't float around. I call it the spaceman. Going up and down the court. Like Kelly Oubre used to do this. He just go up and down the court and really
not knowing where to be.
Yeah, exactly. Ball comes to him. No one's going to touch it other than him. He's going to hoist up shots that aren't rhythmic and then aren't within the flow of the offense. I like that. The Wiseman thing, because I know we're going to get on Draymond. Bob Myers said, and it was something to the effect of Wiseman was going through a really tough time in the last couple of years, and he sought out therapy. And I know this is a very taboo topic, just mental health and whatnot. That showed me so much maturity in the young man. I've expressed what I've gone through in life, and I've gone through many different therapies and still do at times. And you think you got everything under control, and sometimes you don't. And you need the tool belt from someone else to kind of give you the strength to be able to arm yourself to go through your day-to-day. Right. This kid was getting bombarded on every platform, social media, in his face, every turn. You suck. You're not good enough.
You're a bust.
And
you're not LaMelo.
Like, hey, that's part of being a professional. Like, I hear you. It is part of being a professional. That doesn't mean it's not hard.
Well, not only that.
Like, I think we kind of underestimate that. Well, like, we hear we have a minute level of social media followers, and we get a little tiny, just a scrap of what these guys are getting in terms of criticism.
Yeah, it's a little blip.
And I struggle with it, and I'm a 40-year-old man.
No, I struggle with it too. And the thing with James Wiseman, it's not just what he's gone through in the NBA. Think about the year before.
That's a good point.
You go to Memphis to play for Penny Hardaway, and you play in 3 games, 69 minutes, and they're saying, you know what, your season's done. So then you sit out the rest of that season. You don't get to play basketball. All you're doing is hanging out in South Beach, working on your game. Then all of a sudden you get drafted. You get COVID in training camp. And then your first game ever as a pro, there's Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Go ahead and start against the Brooklyn Nets.
With no one in the stands.
No one in the stands. And then, by the way, next game on Christmas Day, you're going up against Giannis Antetokounmpo, where he had some moments against Giannis Antetokounmpo. So you think about what he's done. So you mentioned the therapy, also music. He was rapping. Yes. He was listening to music.
I follow him on Instagram, and he posts things on SoundCloud.
Yeah, all the time.
I listen to it. It's not bad.
It's not bad at all. So you get to James Wiseman, and Kendra Andrews wrote a nice piece about him on ESPN.com yesterday, where the grin on his face, even at media day in Japan yesterday, he's smiling ear to ear because he's just like, I'm happy to play basketball. And he told Kendra out in Tokyo, Japan, he was smiling so hard. She goes, why are you smiling? He goes, I finally caught a body when he dunked on Kristaps Porzingis. So he's just happy to play the game. So it puts a smile on my face to see him out there working because he's a truly genuine kid.
Absolutely.
And to see him at media day, he's being more open. He's like, look, man, I've been here. I've just been working.
Yeah.
I've been working. That's all I've been doing. I've been in the gym, playing pickup. I'm working. I didn't go anywhere. So I like to see the young kid. And look, that pick and roll, Steve Kerr talked about it yesterday. The pick and roll between Jordan Poole and James Wiseman. Oh, my God. It feels like it's an automatic bucket.
Are any of them 21 years old officially yet?
Wiseman, I don't believe is 21. I could be wrong. I know Kuminga's not 21. Wiseman actually did turn 21 back on March 31st.
So he can legally drink.
Yeah, okay. Moody can't. Kuminga can't.
PBJ can't.
I
don't think Ryan Rollins can.
Ryan Rollins, maybe he's on the cusp.
Okay. But the point being is that they've got a nice little, and look, not all of them are going to develop into superstars. We see how
Rollins,
this works.
20 years old.
July
3rd.
In terms of like being able to blend the old with the new, this is one of the things, and I geek out on these things. When you build a team, There's nothing more cool to me than trying to develop the future while also maintaining the current and knowing how important those guys were to your past in terms of Draymond, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevon Looney, Iguodala. Like, this is the best of both worlds for me on a variety of levels, and I'm really looking forward to the season.
Yeah, no,
but we've got this thing that we have to address.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that right now. So on the broadcast, Bob Myers touched it right away, said, yeah, it's been a difficult week. Steve Kerr, before the game, touched on it, saying that, hey, we'll have an update on Draymond Green after the game. Jason Dumas, Cron 4, also 95.7 the game, about 6:30 p.m. last night, said, hey, I'm hearing that Draymond may be back with the team Thursday or Saturday. Don't expect him to miss ring night. Well, Steve Kerr opened his presser yesterday, and it was about 1:24. I want to play the whole thing at first. The whole thing here. His opening comments on the Draymond Green situation. Of course, Draymond Green hit Jordan Poole in the face last week in a practice. After Poole pushed him, they were going back and forth. Draymond got into his face, invaded his space, and a lot of people I talked to say the way Draymond invaded Jordan Poole's space, it's one of those things where you push him off of him to just say, hey, give me some space. But Draymond Green hit him. All hell broke loose. The video gets leaked on Friday, which the Warriors are not happy about. Steve Kerr opened his presser last night after the Warriors beat the Blazers in their second to last tune-up before the regular season, and here's what he had to say about the Draymond Green situation.
He is going to come back to practice on Thursday. He's been fined. He will not be suspended. I expect him to play Friday in our last preseason game and on opening night. We have spent the last week in deep discussions with all of our key figures in the organization, including Jordan and Draymond, of course, Steph, all of our players, Bob, myself, and I can tell you there have been a lot of conversations, individual, one-on-one discussions, players-only discussions, everything that you can think of, all the different combinations that are possible to have in a conversation. We've had them. It's been an exhaustive process. We feel like we have a great feel for our team. We've got a lot of continuity on this team, so Bob and I know our players extremely well. We feel like this is the best way, after assessing everything, for us to move forward. Never easy, no matter what decision you make in a situation like this. It's not going to be perfect. This is the biggest crisis that we've ever had since I've been coach here. It's really serious stuff. We're not perfect. Our team isn't perfect. Bob and I have definitely made our share of mistakes over the years, but we're going to lean on the experience that we have together over the last 9 years and trust that this is the best decision for our team. We have a lot of work to do, all of us, players, coaches, Bob in the front office, but we're committed to doing that work together and to making this a really successful season. I'm not going to talk about the fine other than to say he has been fined.
All right, so Steve Kerr also mentioned later, and we'll play the cut, that this is the biggest crisis he's gone through, or the Warriors have gone through, since he's been head coach of the Golden State Warriors. So I guess the first question I should ask you, Shasky, 888-957-9570. That's the hotline. Dave, we'll get you in just a second. Xfinity mobile text line as well, 888-957-9570. Just, is this appropriate? Is this fair? Is this the right thing to do? Because I could tell that some members of Dub Nation, some fans are not satisfied with the punishment.
I think we both can agree they could have suspended him for the whole year, and there'd be a segment of fans that would be out here saying, no, he can never play for the Warriors again. Right? There is a segment that would never be satisfied no matter what. I think there's another segment that says he shouldn't even be fined. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's everything in between. Here's what I would say. It's irrelevant how I feel. What's going to be very interesting is we're got to hear from JP at some point.
Yeah, that's the final piece to this puzzle, right?
Of course. We got to hear from JP. If this locker room has determined that's the best thing to do, who am I as an outsider to come in and say they're wrong when, in my estimation, they've earned the benefit of the doubt through their work over the last decade, which Steve has kind of, alluded to. I mean, Steph Curry and Steve Kerr and Bob Myers and Joe Lacob, they have done so many things and they've navigated so many issues. Now, nothing like this.
Right.
To me, I think that they've earned the benefit of the doubt. Can I be still wondering how's this going to play out? Of course.
Right.
It could all be kumbaya right now, and 6 weeks from now, it could blow up in their face. But I struggle not being inside that workplace, being the one to tell them what they should and shouldn't do. Do I think it's fair on the outside looking in? I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to take a wait-and-see approach to this because I want to see how Draymond interacts. I want to hear what Jordan Poole has to say. I don't know what an appropriate punishment, an appropriate course of action. Like, I'm not really sure, B. I'm not in that locker room. I don't understand what their norms are.
Well, Steph Curry apparently worked hard to get Jordan Poole and Draymond Green together to talk in the room. Steve Kerr mentioned yesterday that, look, Jordan Poole, I think that's part of the reason why we're going the way we're going is because we know that he's fine. We know that he's willing to move forward. He's willing to basically get back out on the floor with Draymond and go to work. So that was my lasting thoughts about this situation was, how does Jordan Poole feel? Because at times it's easy to receive the message about the leaked video saying, wait, is that the top priority for this organization?
Yeah.
Or is it Jordan Poole?
Yeah.
How does Jordan Poole feel? Does Jordan Poole want to move on? Am I shocked that he's not going to be suspended for ring night? No, I'm not shocked. That's a very awkward situation. If you wanted to suspend Draymond Green to do it on ring night, you intensify the situation, in my opinion, if he's not there on ring night, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, you just celebrated your 4th championship. It's kumbaya to everybody. The season opener. The entire broadcast is going to be talking about it. Boy, number 23 is not here. Everybody in the stands are going to be like, boy, number 23 is not here. And let's face it, some people think number 23, Draymond Green, did nothing wrong. A lot of people are defending Draymond Green in this situation. Did I like what I saw from Draymond Green? No. I think he had to be the bigger man. Also, I believe he was remorseful on Saturday. I do. I truly believe that. Now, what was the fine going to be? What was the punishment going to be? I don't know, man. Like 10, 15 games.
It's all funny money to me. To me, like, I don't recognize the difference when you're making $25 million between a $50,000 fine and a $250,000. Like, to me, I can't even comprehend that amount of money.
But what you just said, about the locker room, a lot of people are going to be disappointed with this. A lot of people are going to say, yes, finally, yes, let's move on. We're moving on from this situation.
Within the locker room?
Within the locker room.
I don't think anything's unanimous in America anymore. You know what I mean?
There's no doubt about that.
And I'm sure that there's a wide variety of opinions on this thing.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, we'll go to break here. We'll pick it up.
I want to get into ring night, too, as well.
Yeah, Dave in Peru. We'll get to you on the other side. You'll be the first thing we do on the other side. And that'll be brought to you by BMW Fairfield. Now open in the Fairfield Auto Mall. They provide a luxurious, all-encompassing experience to address all of your BMW needs. Visit BMWFairfield.com today to book your visit. That's BMWFairfield.com today. Don't forget Nick Friedel coming up at 6:50. Nick Friedel, Cousin Nick, he's back. He'll join us on the roast to give his thoughts on the Draymond Green situation. That's coming up on the roast.
Tomorrow, the Warriors rookies are live in studio with Damon and Ratto.
The Golden State Warriors select Patrick Baldwin Jr.
Patrick Baldwin Jr. and Ryan Rollins are hanging out with Damon and Ratto live in studio.
How about an NBA comparison to Ryan Rollins? Maybe like a CJ McCollum?
Tomorrow, only on 95.7 The Game.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New Gigabit Extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you might be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com/sports, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com/sports. That's getrefunds.com/sports.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic. They bring the shop to you with brake replacements, oil changes, washes, and so much more. Get $50 off your first oil change with code OIL50 at Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com and use code OIL50.
Hi, this is George with Left Coast Buyers. We buy properties all over California. If you own a house or an apartment building and want to sell it fast at a great price, call us at 925-434-5000. We can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. We buy properties in any condition, any price range, and can help you in any situation. Do you own a property that is run down and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Are you out of time, money, and energy? Let us help. Are you looking for an easy way to get top dollar for your property and sell on your terms and timeline? Well, call Left Coast Buyers now at 925-434-5000. We can solve any problem. We buy divorce houses, inherited houses. We even buy vacant houses and abandoned houses. Do you have a tenant who hasn't paid rent? Are you behind on property taxes, mortgage payments, or even facing a foreclosure? Even if you're just nervous about capital gains or an upcoming recession, we've seen it all. So if you or someone you know owns a property and needs to sell, call Left Coast Buyers at 925-434-5000. That's 925-434-5000.
Are you ready? At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us. That's why MVP's rewards members can earn bonus points on select products from brands like DeWalt, Purdy paint applicators, and GRK screws. Then redeem your bonus points for exciting rewards like tools, grills, Lowe's gift cards, and more. Join Lowe's MVP's Pro Rewards today to start earning. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Subject to program terms. While supplies last. Visit Lowe's.com/MVP's bonus points for details. Now through 10/28.
Hey guys, this is Keenan Thompson. I have a problem with you. Yes, you. None of y'all told me that AutoTrader has millions of new and used cars that I can shop from home. I thought we were friends. I put smiles on your face, but I'm not smiling. No one told me that with AutoTrader, a dealer can deliver cars to my home or that I could shop by price on AutoTrader. No one. Consider this friendship that you just learned we had officially over. Finally, it's easy. AutoTrader.
The annual Harmony Walk to End Hunger and Homelessness in Richmond is October 22nd. Register at gripcares.org. Hear local music, take your kids to the bounce house, and make a difference together. Register now at gripcares.org.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonta and Shasky.
888-957-9570. Welcome back to the roast. Nick Friedel, 650. 650 Nick Friedel. This segment will be presented to you by Golden State Lumber. Serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. When you succeed, we succeed. Visit GoldenStateLumber.com. Go ahead, Shasky, before we get down to Peru.
I know we want to talk to some of the callers about the Draymond situation, if you will. Steve Kerr talked last night. I look at ring night, and maybe this isn't a like-for-like comp or metaphor, but I look at ring night, in a way, I kind of look at it as graduating on stage, right? You put in the hard work, you're going to graduate. You're getting a diploma, right? You're getting a ring. And you graduate on stage, not for you, the player. Well, and for your family, because your family is the one that helps put you through that sacrifice. And how many people can say to themselves, I wanted to graduate on stage for my mom. Now, I'll raise my hand and admit, your boy didn't graduate, nor did he graduate on stage.
Well, you know what's
so
funny?
I was one of the few that didn't.
You know what's funny? I graduated on stage in middle school, didn't in elementary school, didn't graduate on stage, did in middle school, did in high school, and then finally college was like, oh, that's what a stage feels like. You know what I'm saying?
But I know it hurt my mom.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, for example, and it's one of the things I regret. I'm kind of ashamed of it, if you will. But the point being is that Draymond put in all that work and all that energy, and I get it. There's a privilege to it.
Right.
I do think because of ring night, it's a little more tricky, and I think that's one of the things at play here, where you do not want to punish him in a way that A, hurts his family, and B, diminishes what he really did accomplish last year. He was part of a championship, and he deserves to be recognized as such with the rest of his teammates. So I do think that you need to acknowledge that ring night hovering over everything, I think, played a part, whether consciously or subconsciously, in what's going on.
I think it was a big part. I personally think it was a big part. How do you just say hypothetically you suspend Draymond Green?
Mm-hmm.
You suspend Draymond Green and he's not in the building, and everybody's getting their rings and they're raising a banner and they're dancing and they're playing the music, and Draymond's not there.
It would make it spiteful for him.
Then how do you celebrate ring night for him personally?
Yeah.
And then how does he feel about not being there? Like, hold on. I was a big part of that championship. Hell, before I injured my back, I was a leading candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. So why? Like, I'm not there. It would have been all bad for the Golden State Warriors. So you diffuse the situation. What is the punishment? A fine? Does the fine fit the punishment? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Hearing Steve Kerr say that, was a part of me disappointed in a way? Yeah, a little bit. Because you just don't see anything like that. And I know players are coming out. I saw Kenny Smith come out yesterday and say, this stuff happens all the time. But then I talked to Darrell Wright, and he's like, no, this doesn't really happen. Then you talk to the other players. No, this doesn't really happen. So there's a mixed bag here. Think about how conflicted this fan base is with this situation. Half of them are saying, Draymond Green, let him play. Don't suspend him.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Fights
wrong.
happen.
Yeah.
Half of us are like, oh, you know what? He deserves 10 to 15 games. You can't do that to a teammate. This is nasty work. Short term, I think the Warriors will figure it out. This locker room is strong enough to figure it out. And I think they did their due diligence with Kevon Looney, Stephen Curry, because ultimately it's up to the players to accept Draymond Green back, not us.
Absolutely. You know, I do find it interesting hearing older basketball players, younger basketball players. There is not one way to view the Draymond thing. Like, I think we've kind of come to the situation, like, everybody's work environment seems to be very fluid. You know, the old heads talking about, oh, this happened all the time and stuff. Well, a lot of things that happened back in the workplace, in any industry 30 years ago, 20 years ago, they've evolved dramatically. I mean, just think about all the different things that have happened in the workplace in terms of female empowerment, women in power, equal rights to be a manager of all different colors and backgrounds and diversities. And just think about how work from home has changed everything. Like, the workplace has dramatically changed. Is that applicable to basketball? I'm not sure. But it does feel like, when I hear all these people talking about it, everybody seems to have a pretty different view on this one, and I think that's why it's so complicated for the Warriors. And I just look back at this: Steve Kerr, Bob Myers, Steph Curry, because I believe that's kind of the trio that's trying to come to some amicable resolution here. Haven't they kind of earned our trust?
They have, and
I'm not saying they can't be wrong,
but not only that, I think they did their due diligence on Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole, how do you feel about the situation?
I don't know.
Can you play with Draymond Green? Because obviously Jordan Poole had to sign off on something to make the situation, to diffuse the situation, to have Draymond Green back at practice. Let's get to Dave all the way in Lima, Peru. Fuck that. Wants to chime in on Draymond Green. What's up, Dave? Good morning. You're on the roast.
To talk about the suspension, I think it was bad for the team. I don't think Draymond should get cut, suspended, or traded or any of those things. But you're a team, you're an organization, you're a business, and you have to set some standards. You have to, not enable this type of behavior. So I think it was a really bad look.
Bad look. So what do you think should have been the punishment?
I think 5-10 games. I think you can, as a big organization, you can figure out a way to let him come to ring night and still punish him. I don't think it had to hurt your championship goals, and I just think you have to give him something. And I don't think Jordan should be in the decision making, because he's trying to get $120 million this week.
Well,
I think that money's going to be there.
And I also don't think that Jordan, if I'm Jordan, I wouldn't want any quote-unquote blood on my hands in terms of the punishment, because I wouldn't want Draymond to even be further incentivized to hate my guts. You know what I mean? Like, you're a stickler on this, and you're the reason I'm being punished, and now you're robbing me and my family an opportunity to celebrate my accomplishment of winning a fourth championship, which, go through the history of the game, I mean, we're talking about 32 guys that have won 4 more rings.
Well, NBC last night, NBC Sports Bay Area, Fitz was all over this. They showed a graphic of the only quartets to win championships. So the only teammates that won 4+ NBA titles together, quartets here. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala. Then you have to go back to the Showtime Lakers. Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Cooper, Kurt Rambis.
And Kurt Rambis, wow.
So 2 quartets that have won 4+ rings together.
Yeah.
In the history of the game.
Wow.
System merger. System merger.
Yeah, because you had like 75 different Celtics that are all in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly. So Jordan Poole in this situation, look, I think the money's in the bag regardless. I still think his feelings were very important in this situation. His family's feelings were very important in this situation. But here's one thing that I will debunk. The trading thing, because some people wanted Draymond Green out as a Warrior. I never thought he was getting traded. And I don't think it's smart to trade him short term. You need, hear me out here. You need this guy to win another championship.
For this
year. You need this guy. His importance defensively. When I watch Anthony Davis cook, I'm thinking, okay, that's Draymond Green. That's his assignment. When I see Jokic, okay, that's Looney and Draymond Green because of his IQ. So short term, I thought Draymond Green being traded, I thought that was ridiculous. He was not getting traded whatsoever. But what would the crime be? What would the punishment be? And I don't know if I'm am I satisfied? If you ask me, Shasky, am I satisfied with Draymond Green's punishment? Feels like he got off a little bit. It does a little bit.
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
But don't you think? And I probably, if you had to force me to make a determination, I'd probably lean in your direction. I would.
Right.
But I'm also thinking okay, these are relationships and you're trying to win a championship. So you got to balance everything. And so maybe we take a little egg on our face at the beginning now.
Right.
So that a month and a half from now, we can turn the page and everything can be good for the nucleus of the team.
Well, it'll be turned. The
and
page
it doesn't
will be
linger.
turned. Yeah.
If JP accepts it.
And if JP accepts it, and I think the page will be turned come playoff time. Hell, I think the talking point come playoff time will be, look how much stronger this made the Golden State Warriors. Look how much tighter they are as a team. Look how it galvanized them. But Steve Kerr did mention, hey, he's got to earn the trust back. Looney said it. He's got to earn the trust back. Here's what Kerr had to say about the crisis and how they dealt with it.
This is the biggest crisis that we've ever had since I've been coach here. It's really serious stuff. We're not perfect. Our team isn't perfect. Bob and I have definitely made our share of mistakes over the years, but we're going to lean on the experience that we have together over the last 9 years and trust that this is the best decision for our team. We have a lot of work to do, all of us, players, coaches, Bob in the front office, but we're committed to doing that work together and to making this a really successful season.
And then here's Steve Kerr on how Jordan Poole has handled the situation.
What I will say, my observation of Jordan is that he's an incredibly mature young guy. I think we've seen that on the basketball side with his work ethic and his ability to work through, his rough rookie season and go to the G League bubble and do everything to get where he is now. It takes a lot more than just talent. So this is a pretty special young guy. And it was already reported after the incident, he worked out for another hour on his shot. Came out, whatever it was, a couple nights later and scored 15 straight points at one point. He's cool. Not much phases him. And I think that's part of why we're going the way we're going, because we know that he's fine. We know that he's willing to move forward. He's willing to basically get back out on the floor with Draymond and go to work.
Wouldn't you agree that I think there's a lot of people that are going to be satisfied, unsatisfied, whatever. We will be able to look back on this and say, hey, does this linger? I feel like we'll be able to take the temperature of this in a couple of months or at the end of the year.
No doubt.
And be able to reach some sort of a conclusion on how this plays out. Wouldn't you agree?
No doubt. And I also think we'll look back at Jordan Poole and say, wow, for a young player who was quote-unquote arrogant and changed and yada, 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 he has shown maturity.
Well,
go out there,
I'm with you there
and score 25 when the whole world is watching you get knocked out by Draymond Green. It basically a one-hitter quitter. That's basically what it was. I don't want to try to joke about it. It was a one-hitter quitter. It was a hell of a right hand. For Jordan Poole to come back, score 25 points, to have that big third-quarter outburst, to go out there and ball and cook and not let it affect his game. Not let it affect his game. On the court, did you see him on the bench yesterday laughing with Wiseman, laughing with Quindary Weatherspoon? I think we'll look back and say, man, JP handled this situation as well. I couldn't handle it like JP.
Yeah.
Somebody knocks me out, I'm not coming to practice for the next week.
But B, I mean, we've seen this. We talked about the Manti Te'o doc. Some people can turn the other cheek, and they're stronger than you and I.
That's what I'm saying. JP's strong.
That's your point. So the other thing that I keep coming back to is like, let's say, and I know it's different. Pro sports is totally different, but let's say something happened here at our workplace. Would I want our audience setting the determination on what the punishment should be for our own in here, in this building?
But you know what? Fans are a big part of this stuff.
No, I'm not
They
saying
pay their hard-earned money, man, and I respect their opinions. There's going to be some fans who think Draymond Green should be suspended for 20 games.
No doubt.
And I understand. There's some fans who believe Draymond Green did nothing wrong and that he wasn't the instigator. I understand.
But at the end of the day, wouldn't you, as someone who's a part of this, I'm trying from the player standpoint, wouldn't you want to have the ultimate input on what's going to happen?
Absolutely, and I think the players did have the input.
But we also would have to recognize, hey, there's an outward look in, and so how we move forward is going to be scrutinized.
No doubt.
And whatever we do is going to be scrutinized.
And they know that. They've been through it. They signed Kevin Durant. You don't think they were going to be scrutinized for that?
That's a good point.
I mean, they got scrutinized left and right because of that. They got scrutinized for trading for Andrew Wiggins. They got scrutinized for selecting James Wiseman.
And keeping him.
There you go. All right, more coming up. Nick Friedel, 650. We got Cousin Nick joining the roast, give his thoughts on it and the NBA landscape, and then we will take your calls. 888-957-9570. Line them up. Are you satisfied with Draymond Green's punishment? Are you satisfied, Dub Nation? 888-957-9570. That's coming up. Brought to you by Fremont Bank. Full service banking. No compromises.
Opening night is less than a week away.
Backdoor lob to Wiggins. He climbs the ladder and throws it down. Draymond with the assist.
Can the Warriors overcome the drama and defend their title?
Hart down the lane. Rejected. Kuminga with a block. Harden says, who is that?
Find out right here on the home of the NBA champions. 95.7 The Game.
If you're a professional builder or designer, here is some good news from Golden State Lumber. Their relationships with Capital Lumber, Cal Cascade, Humboldt Sawmill, and other suppliers have led to a big increase in lumber inventory. Additionally, Golden State's state-of-the-art Stockton facility is fully equipped with a wall panel production facility. Golden State can help you save space, labor, and time with prefabricated walls delivered directly to the job site. Golden State strives to deliver most of the materials the very next day, and in some cases, the exact same day. And remember, the best tool that you can use on the job site is the Golden State app, which provides greater access to the industry-leading service team. You'll have access to all of these resources like zoning regulations, permitting details, and hundreds of user guides all at your fingertips. The Golden State app is available at goldenstatelumber.com, Google Play, and the App Store. When the supplying the Bay Area since 1954. Golden State, when you succeed, we succeed.
Elise and Carl's Bakery needed a small business loan fast, but instead of going to On Deck, Carl called
Lone Falcon!
Really? Carl?
There's a better way to get a fast small business loan. Go to OnDeck.com, and if approved, get your loan as soon as the same day. Your loan is on deck. Depending on certain loan attributes, your business loan may be issued by OnDeck or Celtic Bank, a Utah Chartered Industrial Bank member FDIC. Limited eligibility for same-day funding. OnDeck does not lend in every state. All loans subject to lender approval.
Don't waste your time trying to sell your old car. Donate it to Cars for Kids. It's the easiest and fastest way to donate your car and get a tax deduction. Donate online at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
The following is an attorney advertisement. If you get sidelined by a workplace injury, the workers' compensation attorneys at Boxer & Gerson can help get you back in the game. Our team of skilled attorneys will fight by your side for the treatment and compensation you deserve. We care about justice for injured workers. That's what makes us Northern California's premier workers' comp law firm. Call Boxer & Gerson at 510-345-2341 or visit boxerlaw.com for a free consultation. Boxer & Gerson, your life is worth the fight.
Fremont Bank. If there's one thing we understand more than anybody, it's that it takes a local bank to really get the needs of local businesses. Fremont Bank has the flexibility and motivation to service your business loan needs like other banks can't or won't. With our full suite of business loan products and recognition as a top SBA lender in the Bay Area, Fremont Bank is the right choice for local and family-owned businesses. Fremont Bank. Learn more at fremontbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you owe back taxes to the IRS, have unfiled returns, or are worried about an audit, the IRS is hiring 87,000 new agents to address these very issues. That means if you need to get your tax problems resolved, now is the time to get started. I'm tax attorney Robert Goldstein, and my firm specializes in helping individuals and small businesses resolve their tax problems. We work to stop IRS and state seizures. We may be able to settle your tax debt for pennies on the dollar with an offer in compromise. We prepare your past due returns, even if you have no records, and represent you before the IRS and state in an audit. At the law offices of Robert Goldstein, the consultation is always free, and we have offices located throughout the Bay Area. To schedule your free consultation, call 1-888-TAX-EXIT. That's 888-TAXEXIT. 888-TAX-EXIT. And make us your last stop.
Listen to Kelvin. What he's about to say could change your life.
I'm 6'2", and I was about 290, and I lost weight fast. I trimmed down. Now I'm about 235. I'm probably at about 9, maybe 10% body fat. That's great. I lost probably at least 60 pounds in probably 3.5, 4 months. Color of my hair is coming back. Skin looks better. Obviously gaining muscle. My muscle mass is coming back. Thank you for providing an awesome product. Somebody who actually has and does what they say they will. Oh, that's awesome.
That's great, Kelvin. Losing that belly fat in less than 4 months is outstanding. Since 2004, Andro 400 has been changing men's lives, like Kelvin, and can help you lose belly fat, gain energy, and improve your lifestyle. We guarantee it. Go to andro400.com for more true testimonials, before and after photos, and special discounts. Only available on andro400.com. andro400.com.
Goody Nation is a nonprofit that connects small, diverse companies to big money. At one point, we had to send millions of dollars to 76 companies overnight, tracking every penny all on paper. I know, right? We don't do that anymore. Now we've got Bill. It knows where the money's going. Once we automated that process, we got more time back with our community. Bill is accurate, and that gives us confidence.
Automate your finances with Bill. Learn more at Bill.com.
There's a lifetime of beautiful outdoor living waiting for you at Dolan's. It's fiber-on decking for easy, carefree living. Why choose this durable composite? There's an amazing choice of colors. The rich look of multi-chromatic exotic hardwood. It resists splintering, rotting, and cracking with really low maintenance. See the colors and learn more at dolanlumber.com. See the real Fiberon at Dolan's Home Improvement Centers.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
What's your retirement look like? With Fidelity Income Planning, a dedicated advisor can help you create a flexible income strategy to grow and protect your wealth, so you can stop worrying about the future and enjoy whatever comes next. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE SIPC.
This is Stephen Curry, and you're listening to The Morning Roast with Bonta and the Butcher on 95.7 The Game.
What up, Steph? He didn't play last night. Looked good in the sweatsuit. I was talking to Bob Fitzgerald and, of course, Khalid Azubuike. Did a good job of the move, breaking down the Golden State Warriors and what their mission is this year. But let's get into it. Basketball season is coming. Basketball season is on the horizon. And it's time for our main man, cousin Nick Friedel at ESPN. He joins the roast now. Hit it, Lubman.
Hit it.
Hit it.
Hit my music.
My music. Music.
Or Nick's music.
Take you for a ride on a slow bus to Chinatown. Where in the world is
the sexiest voice in all of sports media, Nick Friedel?
Nick has this rugged masculinity that all of us at ESPN are jealous of.
I don't know about friend of the program because I think you're lumping me in with being a friend of Fidel, and I don't want to be associated with all that.
Thank you, Nick, and your voice is very deep and sexy. I have.
What you gonna do, brother?
Yeah,
When Mac Jones is coming for you?
How would you describe the level of hope that everyone else spoke with yesterday in regards to what James Wiseman brought?
What are they talking about regarding Wiseman and like the impact he can make this season?
Yeah, just how much
Kelly, obviously you can't predict the future, and we'll see what happens this summer. But would you be willing to take less money?
Bro, I'm not answering your questions no more. I'm sorry. Next question.
It's the greatest intro in the history of intros.
It might be the greatest intro in the history of sports radio. Nick Friedel, how can you not smile when you hear cousin Nick? Warrior fans know him as a hater, especially a Wiggins hater. But you know what?
TikTok knows him as a legend.
He's a legend on TikTok?
Dude, he has like 50 million views on just the Kyrie questioning alone in the playoffs.
Oh my gosh, cousin Nick's on TikTok.
My niece recognized him on TikTok. She's like, that's your buddy, isn't it?
That's cousin Nick.
She goes, yeah, I can tell by the voice.
So Nick, he's got his own issues with the Brooklyn Nets. That's going to be a fun ride for him. Cousin Nick, what's happening, man? Good morning. Long time no talk.
Oh, guys, I miss you.
I miss
that
you.
Oubre one gets me every time.
I remember during the post-game show when you asked that, and Willie goes, who was that? I was like, oh, that's Nick Friedel. He goes, hey, great question. Nick, real quick, I know you're a big Tampa Bay Bucks fan, and you guys got a gift on Sunday with the roughing the passer penalty. You coming out here for Bucks Niners?
I'm trying as hard as I can to find a way, but with the way they got the net stuff right now, it's going to be tough to pull that off.
I got a ticket for you. You know that.
I know you do, buddy, but it's gonna be a long ride to get from A to B.
Yeah, you got the Brooklyn Nets situation. We'll get to them in just a second, but from afar, because you used to be on this beat with the Golden State Warriors. You know Steve Kerr very well. You know Draymond Green. You know this team, this organization. First of all, let's start with the actions on Wednesday where Draymond Green struck Jordan Poole in the face, and then we see the video. What was your reaction before the video? What was your reaction after the video?
B, when I first heard the story, and I still got that echo, Sam. Like, well, that's Draymond, and this kind of stuff continues to happen, and it's something that the Warriors have to take care of. But when the video came out, as we all know, it just made it so much worse. And when you start thinking about all the different issues that they're going to have to deal with and have dealt with over the last few days, this is the type of thing, and I lived it that last year with the Kevin and Draymond episode at Staples, that just hovers over everything. It hovers over everything that the organization wants to do. So I believe Steve Kerr when he says the culture is strong enough to handle it. I think Steph is the best leader that there is in the game. But when that kind of stuff happens, it just hangs on everything a team does. And my concern, if you're a Warriors fan, isn't that they can't get through it, because I don't think, B, and you and I would stand there before a lot of those games that last year in Oakland, I think people never gave Kevin and Draymond enough credit for getting through it together on their own.
Yeah.
What pissed them off was that as the year went on, it never went away.
Yeah.
Everywhere they went, people were like, how's the temperature in the locker room?
Right.
And how are you guys doing? And so
and then the Knicks thing too surfaced once they traded Kristaps Porzingis. Remember that? All of a sudden it was the New York Knicks noise that got to Kevin Durant.
Right. There was always something, but that set the tenor. That episode at Staples set the tenor for everything else that seemed to follow. But as far as the video goes, it was just brutal. It was brutal. And I know, having been there when Jordan got there, how much respect he has for Draymond. And I know how much love there is for Draymond and respect in that locker room. But after all these years, there's really no doubt, guys. If you're choosing a side, you are choosing to go with Poole moving forward because he's younger. He helped you win a title. The hope is that he can help you win a couple more. And for all that Draymond has done, I think the players and Steve have said it best the last few days. He broke the trust, and I don't know if you can regain it all the way again, given how brutal it was to watch that video.
So last night, Steve Kerr comes out and says that there's going to be a fine, but no quote-unquote suspension. How do you feel about that as someone who has covered this team for quite some time? And what do you think the temperature is of that locker room? Do you think that's unanimous in terms of support, or do you think that there might be some differing of opinions?
Joe, I think the key is, what does Steph think? And I know Steve talked about Looney, and I'm sure Andre behind the scenes has done plenty because he is so respected as a voice in the room. But all along in the last week or so, I've thought the same thing. You do exactly what Steph says. You allow him to take the tone and tenor of what's going on in there, and you follow his lead. And there is nobody from top to bottom in that organization who sets the tone more than Steph Curry does. So was I surprised he wasn't suspended? No, because I didn't expect that this early into the season. I mean, hell, we're still going through training camp basically as these preseason games roll up. But once the video came out, that changed the optics. And all three of us know that the Warriors care deeply about optics. They care deeply about culture. And when you have optics that are this bad, people are wondering what else you should do. But in this case, you have Steph Curry. And Steph Curry is universally beloved. Not just I cannot stress enough how much respect he has earned for the organization in that room by carrying himself the way that he does. So Bob Myers, Steve Kerr, Joe Lacob, they have to take their cues from Steph. And in this case, if Steph is all right and Jordan Poole seems all right with the fact that Draymond's not getting suspended, then okay, let's roll with it and start the year. You referenced earlier about the Draymond Green, Kevin Durant, and how that kind of wore on everyone. And to their credit, they found a way to, I guess, ride the storm out, right? And they didn't win it all, but damn, they got pretty damn close. Does it even matter? When you're inside, when you're walking with them and you're seeing them in the locker room every single day like you did for so long, does it even matter what the fans think or what other NBA players think? Or is this all about what they think inside that locker room? Joe, I think a huge part of it is what the players and the coaches think in the locker room, but I think we're all kidding ourselves if you don't think that plays some sort of role. Yeah. The media, especially on social media, and specific to Kevin, I mean, we all know Kevin is active on social media. He's discussed it. No doubt. Like that part, when he's looking at it every day saying, oh man, what's Draymond gonna say that's gonna piss you off next? I'm not saying it had an impact on him every single day, but when you're looking at it, and then when you're being asked about it in these different cities, I think it wore on everybody, not just Kevin and Draymond. And that, to me, guys, that's the real question. Draymond has always owned up when he's screwed up, and he knows he crossed the line in a major way here. I believe, at least knowing the framework of that relationship, that Draymond and Jordan Poole can get through it. Right. What I'm curious about, having lived that season a few years ago, is how everybody else deals with it. So while the room may be okay, Joe, to your point, and over time everything may get smoothed out internally, the question to me is, okay, what happens in February in San Antonio when somebody asks Draymond how the mood of the group is, or somebody brings up with Jordan Poole, well, what happened in training camp where you got punched in the face? I think that type of stuff happens way more than we know about because it doesn't get out, and that's why I know that there are so many people in the organization who are still so pissed off, including Steve Kerr, who said it publicly, that the video leaked in the way that it did. Because, guys, I covered Nico Mirotic and Bobby Portis in Chicago.
Oh, you were around that team? Oh, wow.
And when that happened, I mean, not only did Bobby knock out Nico, he sent him to the hospital. I mean,
he sent him out the country.
It was brutal. But that type of stuff, to think that it doesn't happen, I mean, it does happen. It's just in the manner in which it gets handled. I mean, just for that in context, Mirotic and Portis had never played better together once Nico came back on the floor. They didn't speak once they got off the court. And that happened all the way through the year until Mirotic got traded. So
wow.
It's all the stuff that kind of builds up through time. But if I were betting on any culture to survive this type of episode, I would put my money on the Golden State Warriors.
Wow, cousin Nick Friedel here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. What an excellent point there as you are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ-FM and HD1 San Francisco, always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. And do not forget that you can also watch us every single day on our YouTube and Twitch streams. Just log on and search 95.7 The Game. Nick, a lot has been made with the Golden State Warriors about the contracts. Jordan Poole is due for an extension. He has a deadline of October 17th to sign a new deal. Wiggins will be a free agent, your favorite Golden State Warrior, after the season. And, of course, Draymond Green has a player option for $27 million. Do you think this impacts anything long-term for Draymond Green on how the Warriors view him long-term?
I don't think so, B, because, again, this goes back to the optics. And Draymond is going to get a statue outside Chase. We all agree on that, and has been an incredibly large part of everything the team has done. But when you're trying to move forward and you're trying to figure out who you want to invest in moving forward as a group, in that list, for as important as Draymond has been, Poole's going to get his money. Wiggins earned his money, whatever he wants. I mean, he was the second best player on the title team in the playoffs. And then with Draymond, this doesn't help his cause by any stretch. But if you're the Warriors, even before the punch, I don't know how you could feel that confident in giving Draymond either mega money or years, just because we all had started to see the decrease in his play, just from a basketball standpoint. He is so crucial to what they do. But when you see the drop-off, and he was awesome to start last season, then he got hurt, and he had times when he looked really good, but there were times, certainly in the playoffs, where he just wasn't the same player. So to me, even before this, the pecking order as far as the contracts go is pretty clear. And after the incident, it doesn't change much. It only changes any Warriors fan who's saying, Draymond, well, the organization can go back and say, hey, look what happened. It'll be easier if and when that divorce actually comes to fruition.
NBA insider, ESPN legend, also 95.7 The Game contributor Nick Friedel with us, the homie. Nick, am I in the bubble here? Because, I'm a Warrior fan. I've been here my whole life. I love the Warriors. And I'm saying, I take a step back and I go, Bob Myers, Steve Kerr, Steph Curry. Man, they have earned the benefit of the right for me to believe them that they're going to be able to handle this situation the right way, or at least, take a wait-and-see approach, which is kind of what I'm going on right now. Let's see how this thing plays out. As someone who covers the league as a whole, been inside and on the outside of this Bay Area bubble, is that a fair perspective to have that, hey, Bob, Steve, Steph Curry, these guys have earned the benefit of the doubt that we should let this play out and not be outraged by the lack of a punishment?
100%. 100%. In all my years being around the league, guys, I have never seen a team that has a stronger culture than this group. The only thing I can compare it to, and I was younger when I started, so I didn't get to see them when they were at the peak of their powers, but it would be San Antonio. San Antonio with Popovich and Tim Duncan, you just knew what you were getting from that team on the floor, off the floor. There wasn't ever going to be noise or drama. It was all handled internally. It's why that whole Kawhi episode through the years was intriguing, because that's when you started to see the break from the Spurs way.
Right.
But Joe, to your point about Kerr and Myers and Steph, it's crucial when everybody is on the same page, that's when you win. I mean, that's when it happens. And the camaraderie is there. And I don't think Steve Kerr has ever gotten the credit he deserves for a moment like last night. I mean, in the way in which Kerr controls the narrative for his team is the best I've ever seen in that role. The way that Bob Myers maintains the relationships with his players and is around and available is one of the very best in the league. And then again, I cannot hammer this point home enough. Steph Curry is just the best leader to me that I've seen in the NBA. And he handles his business on the floor, and even more importantly, certainly in the context of this conversation, he handles things for that team off the floor, and he makes it so that everything is okay when the brightest lights are on. Steph Curry is a connector at a level that I haven't seen before in pro sports. And when you have him on your team, you should have that sigh of relief that things should be okay. But this absolutely crossed a different threshold, and it remains to be seen if everybody can make it work. But when you have that type of power structure up top, you should feel pretty good about it.
That's a great point, Nick. Nick Friedel here on the Morning Roast. Before you leave us and get back to your duties here, the NBA landscape as a whole, if you had to put your bottom dollar on the team to win the championship, are you putting that on the Golden State Warriors? Because we saw the baby dubs yesterday. Wiseman looks better. Kuminga's figuring it out. Moody looks smooth. JaMychal Green and DiVincenzo. We know the Warriors love those veteran mid-level exceptions, and JaMychal Green looks like this year's version of Otto Porter Jr. Who's the teams that could threaten the Warriors from going back-to-back? Who can halt their journey to going back-to-back and winning their 5th championship in the last 9 years?
Well, B, this certainly isn't like a year ago at this time when you guys were asking me if I thought the Warriors could win a title. And I was like, what?
Yeah. Well, we didn't even ask that. We said, can they be a top 4 seed?
and I still was kind of like, everything would have to break right for that to happen. I think they got a hell of a team, and I don't think it's an oversell to continue to discuss just how much this is going to impact what happens. But they have the pieces in place, and I've always believed, guys, that Clay can be even better, and that certainly is what you're hearing internally, is that they feel like a year removed, Clay's going to find even more of a rhythm. Having said that, if it's my last dollar to start the season, the team I'm actually betting on to win it all, and I believe if they had been healthy, they probably would have been there last year, is the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yep.
The Bucks have the length, they have the defense, and Giannis is just an incredible player. But that series, if that comes to be, and it's the Warriors and the Bucks in 8-9 months, whatever it is, it would be awesome if everybody's healthy, because I think they go at each other in a lot of different ways. And just to see Steph and Giannis on that stage at that level would be pretty cool.
Nick.
But that's the team to me that I think at least odds on right now.
Nick, I love you. I love that you play this role where you just have to come on and pick someone else. I love that you're committed to the
Not only
bit.
that, no, he just ticked off Warrior fans.
I know.
But he also ticked off Brooklyn Nets fans, because this will be circulated all over YouTube. So Brooklyn Nets fans going to say, wow, he's really picking against Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons. What about the Brooklyn Nets, Nick?
I mean, geez Louise.
Oh, B, if I've learned anything, and truly, like I learned it with the Bulls all those years, but certainly with the Warriors, in order to win titles, we're not talking about winning a playoff series or two, you have camaraderie within the group. And that's why I've seen Steph do unbelievable things, and I know what he does off the floor. It's why I will always be a believer in him as everything that he appears to be in a basketball sense. But the Nets just don't have that.
Yeah. Hey, Nick, we're up against it.
They don't have that buy-in on every level, and the only thing that can cure it is winning. It's the same thing that's going to fix whatever's ailing the Warriors right now with the Draymond situation. You got to win, and you got to win early. And specific to the Nets, guys, when you look at their schedule, especially in November, they have a ton of road games. that is going to be a rough ride early on for a team that hasn't played well or hasn't played it all together in this stretch.
Well, at least you and Kyrie are best friends now, so that's good. You're making progress.
That
you're making
what
progress.
A turn of events.
You're making progress. Easy money sniper.
I'm trying to ask a question that first day at media day, and he's like, "Hey, man, you and me, we're going to be best friends." And I'm like, "Kyrie, I already thought we were best friends." And he's like, "No, man, you think we're best friends now." He's like, "Wait till the end of the season. We're going to hug." But the best part, guys, is that the other night after that first preseason game, I'm walking out of the press conference room, and he was coming out of a different door, and we, walk out together. And he looks at me, and he's dead serious, and he's like, "Hey, man, you need a ride home?" And I'm like, No, I'm good. He's like, "No, seriously, you need a ride home?" And the guys that were walking out with him, his friends, they were just cracking up. So the buddy cop movie, I hope we can make it happen here at some point.
Nick, we got to go. I love you. We're up against the break. Michelle misses you. I'll see you against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.
Cousin Nick, can't wait to see you back in the Bay. Continue the great job at ESPN. Cousin Nick Friedel, ESPN Insider covering the Nets. Kyrie Irving, how about that? Hey, we're react to Cousin Nick. George, Adam, will get to you. 888-957-9570. Your thoughts on Draymond Green. Are you satisfied with the punishment? And two, how about the baby Doves putting on the show last night? We'll break down the game as well. That's coming up. Brought to you by On Deck Small Business Loans.
Tomorrow, the Warriors rookies are live in studio with Damon and Ratto.
Nice dunk put back there by Ryan Rollins, the sophomore out of Toledo.
Tomorrow, Patrick Baldwin Jr. and Ryan Rollins are hanging out with Damon and Ratto live in studio.
Baldwin Jr., and just like he did Friday night, first time he touched the ball, he shot it and made it.
On the home of the NBA champions, 95.7, The Game.
Kirby, they're your driveway mechanic, and they bring the shop to you. And guess what? Our friends over at Kirby just won the Motor Top 20 Award for innovation. Brakes and tire replacements, oil changes, and so much more. And here's what I did a week ago. They added the Kirby's eco-friendly wash. Barely uses any water and makes my car look brand new. Literally no water on the floor. They use all biodegradable products that provide the ultimate shine and protection for both the exterior and the interior of my car. It was shining. All in the ease of my or your driveway. The ultimate convenience, easy booking, transparent pricing, on-time arrival, service in your driveway. No waiting rooms, no coordinating rides, direct access to the mechanic, friendly, reliable service, no middlemen, and no upsells. You can get $50 off your first oil change with this code, OIL50. That's OIL50. Or you can use my code, JOEWASH, JOEWASH, to get a free sealant treatment with the purchase of Kirby's eco-friendly wash. Check out Kirby.com, that's CURBEE.com, or call 1-866-KIRBY-1.
Brought to you by On Deck Small Business Loans. When you own a small business, sometimes you need funds fast. So go to OnDeck.com, America's largest online small business lender. On Deck makes it easy to apply in minutes. Apply for your loan today at OnDeck.com.
Dr. Trudy Fleer here with the 5G Home Recovery Podcast. Let's discuss a very real existential threat to internet speed. It's a big one. Ready? T-Mobile Home Internet. It lags. Now, what is lag? Lag is a delay in data being transmitted across the internet. For example, you're hitting that hot drop, the parachute cuts out, you've got an unsuspecting bot in your sights, and lag! You were actually eliminated 10 seconds ago. Nobody deserves that. So stop letting T-Mobile Home Internet ruin everything and switch to Xfinity. Learn more at xfinity.com/TMOFax.
Get an amazing value on Xfinity Internet with unlimited data included. Switch for $55 a month for 2 full years with no annual contract required and no equipment fees for 24 months. Go to Xfinity.com/TMOFax, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store to learn more. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 10/17/22. Restrictions apply. New fast internet and xFi Complete customers only. xFi Gateway required. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
Everything, our farm, our stand, our pop-up shop, it really all started when we discovered the benefits of local, raw honey for our family.
And then we decided to turn it into a business.
We were looking for something to help us get up and running.
So we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account.
It's more than a bank account. It comes with Quick Accept, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere in the U.S. using the Chase mobile app. Plus, we get same-day deposits at no extra cost. For us, it's more than honey. It's about sharing a little sweetness with the world.
Get the Chase Business Complete Banking Account with the essentials you need to help get your business going. Learn more at chase.com/business-complete-banking. Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours. Quick Accept is not available in U.S. territories. Enrollment required. Usage subject to approval. Same-day deposits available for payments before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday to Friday. Fees and rates apply for checking and processing. Limitations and restrictions apply. Participants compensated. Merchant services provided by Payment Tech LLC and WePay Inc. Subsidiaries of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. No title? No problem. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go online at carsforkids.org to donate today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Do you think all premium fuels are the same? Well, your engine doesn't. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus helps keep your engine running like new because it's engineered to defend against 4 main engine threats: gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. So next time, choose Shell's most advanced fuel ever. It's fuel for thought. In engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline.
If you're a professional builder or designer, here's some good news from Golden State Lumber. Their relationships with Capital Lumber, Cal Cascade, Humboldt Sawmill, and others have led to an increase in lumber inventory. Golden State strives to deliver most materials the next day, if not the same day. Be sure to download the Golden State app, which provides access to hundreds of resources. Find it at goldenstatelumber.com. For 3 generations, Golden State. When you succeed, we succeed.
This is Steve Kerr, and you're listening to the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game.
It's a little regulators.
I can't forget we're not in love anymore.
That's the old back. That's a throwback.
Michael McDonald.
Yeah, that's a throwback.
Never be the same.
You imagine London knocking this in Concord? Going to a Giants game, feeling himself?
Wearing Giant socks? Wait till I ask Farhan a question.
By the way, Sam Lubman, our producer here on the Morning Roast, asking Farhan all kind of questions. Bonta, we could play the Farhan sound. It's like, I don't think we're going to get to it today. I don't think we're going to get any baseball talk. But also, Sam Lubman's got a new puppy in the house. Mama's got a new puppy. She was puppy trading yesterday.
Oh.
Sam Lubman, puppy trading. Would you trust Sam Lubman with your dogs?
I'm great with dogs. Dogs love me.
It's the smell.
Oh, that's a low blow.
I'm teasing, Loveman.
Dude, Sam,
I'm teasing.
That's a low blow. My guy wears deodorant, okay?
Yeah, well, here's the question.
The thing is, we got rid of the funk from Sam Lubman. We got rid of the feelers.
Oh, he's looking sauced out.
Yeah, he's got new shoes. His shoe game is on point nowadays.
Well, the Michael McDonald, every time I think about that song, it's about relationships, Yeah. It's... I can't forget we're not in love anymore.
Well, I think of regulators when they talk.
No, I'm with you on that, but let's stick with the Michael McDonald theme here for a second and just walk down this path with me.
All right, I'll try.
Are Warrior fans still in love with Draymond Green?
I know, that's a good question. It's a good question. It's a great tie-in. That's well played, Shasky. That's why you're a pro. By the way, shout out YouTube, Twitch, Xfinity mobile text line. Download the Odyssey app, 95.7 The Game. Thousands of other stations and millions of podcasts are free on the Odyssey app. Sports talk, music, news, podcasts, all available completely free. And catch every single Warriors game live on the app along with all the music, news the Bay Area needs. Follow your favorite teams, stations, radio shows, and podcasts now by downloading the free Odyssey app. And you heard Shasky there. Are you still in love with Draymond Green? Are you satisfied with the suspension? And then what is your take on the game last night? Because James Wiseman,
the game feels, I hear you on the players.
It feels secondary after what Kerr said. It does feel secondary. However, I did like what I saw from James Wiseman. I am so happy for James Wiseman, the person, the player. He's moving around. He's dunking. There's a lot to love with the baby Dubs, and it's a lot. And that was a reminder. Despite the Draymond stuff, Shasky, looking at the roster overall, the Warriors are stacked. And I keep saying that. They're stacked. And some people are like, well, how are they stacked? We don't know nothing about these youngsters. They're coming along very, very well. Steve Kerr's not just giving us lip service when he says, hey, the young guys are having a great trading camp. No, it looks like they're having a great trading camp, and they're playing very, very well early on. And they're going to be fighting for minutes all year.
So I think there are a lot of people, that went to bed prematurely. I'm one of those people, right? And
you didn't see the Steve Kerr stuff?
I didn't see any of it. I think we should re-rack that for people just getting in their cars right now.
We will. We'll get to George and Adam in just a second. I'll play the opening statement. It's a minute 24. And Steve Kerr opened his presser last night after the Warriors beat the Blazers in their second-to-last tune-up in the preseason. And he opened up his presser discussing what's going to happen with Draymond Green. Here's Steve Kerr, about a minute 24. Then we'll take your calls, 888-957-9570, as well as read your text. Here's Steve Kerr's opening statement last night after the Warriors beat the Blazers in their second-to-last preseason game.
He is going to come back to practice on Thursday. He's been fined. He will not be suspended. I expect him to play Friday in our last preseason game and on opening night. We have spent the last week in deep discussions with all of our key figures in the organization, including Jordan and Draymond, of course, Steph, all of our players, Bob, myself, and I can tell you there have been a lot of conversations, individual, one-on-one discussions, players-only discussions, everything that you can think of, all the different combinations that are possible to have in a conversation. We've had them. It's been an exhaustive process. We feel like we have a great feel for our team. We've got a lot of continuity on this team, so Bob and I know our players extremely well. We feel like this is the best way, after assessing everything, for us to move forward. Never easy, no matter what decision you make in a situation like this. It's not going to be perfect. This is the biggest crisis that we've ever had since I've been coach here. It's really serious stuff. We're not perfect. Our team isn't perfect. Bob and I have definitely made our share of mistakes over the years, but we're going to lean on the experience that we have together over the last 9 years and trust that this is the best decision for our team. We have a lot of work to do, all of us, players, coaches, Bob in the front office, but we're committed to doing that work together and to making this a really successful season. I'm not going to talk about the fine other than to say he has been fined.
So I'm already looking at YouTube. Dave Johnson. What's up, Dave? He's on there every day. He's not happy about this. He wants a suspension. SC. Serious? No suspension. Our boy Tyler Miller. Yes, let's move on. Free Draymond. There's a lot of conflicting thoughts on this situation from this fan base. So I want to hear from the fan base, Shasky.
Yeah.
Are you still a Draymond fan? Do you still love him?
And I'm posing this, and this is kind of my point of view on this one. If this was a rookie coach or a GM that didn't have a lot of equity, and not that winning is the end-all, be-all, and that you're inflappable from criticism, but like if you were a team that didn't have the equity built up with years, not just, a year or 2 years. I'm talking 9 years of being together and being able to survive all of the different maturations of the roster, the dynamics, all of the negative things that have happened. I would be very skeptical, and I'd be coming out and saying what I feel. If these guys who have earned the benefit of the doubt in my mind with 4 championships and a variety of teams and a variety of personalities, to me, if Steph and Steve Kerr and Bob Myers have come to a conclusion with the rest of that locker room after talking with everyone, who am I to tell them what they should do? I think we should let this play out. That's what I'm going to do. I understand.
We have no choice.
Well, I understand if you're disappointed, and I'd love to hear from you.
Right.
But I feel like if anyone has earned the benefit of the doubt, it's this core.
Now, a lot of people are saying, and Conrad Arenas out there on YouTube, Jordan Poole a better man than me. I couldn't play with Draymond after swinging on me like that. There's that element as well.
I agree with that
and
sentiment.
We still haven't heard from Jordan Poole. That's the final piece to this puzzle for me. How does Poole feel? Steve Kerr said Poole feels great. Poole has moved on. He sat in the room with Draymond Green. They've talked it out. Curry and Looney've got them together. Poole and Draymond to talk it out. But how does Poole feel? I don't know. Let's go to the calls here.
Yeah.
Let's start off with George in the Jungle. George in the Jungle.
Hey, George.
What's happening? You're on the roast. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. I love the show, but Nick Friedel made a great point. It wasn't the altercation between Kevin Durant and Draymond that caused the split. It was all the follow-up.
Yeah.
All the follow-up, the constant, how's it feeling today? Oh, can you get over it? Is it ever going to mend? Let it go. Move on. That was a beautiful game last night. We saw Wiseman drop a clean 18 in no time? Come on. This is sports talk. This is not family drama. And when it comes to family drama, you always love your family. You never hate your family for an action. You hate the action, but you love your family.
Well, I'm well versed in this. You can love your family and also have issues. Like, every family's got their own issues. That's why Thanksgiving dinner is uncomfortable sometimes around the dinner table.
Yeah, that's why I like a small Thanksgiving gathering, not a big one.
You took a big deep breath.
I like a small gathering here. But George, don't you think this is
family?
No. But George, this is part of it, though. This is why when we talk about Shanahan and Garoppolo, we nitpick their pressers.
Yes,
it's part of the sports fandom. It's part of the sports talk. It's part of the whole journey of trying to get to where we need to get to. And by the way, the Kevin Durant stuff, Kevin Durant was no saint in that situation. He helped make it linger by wandering on the floor, by taking more shots. Not taking shots. You had Shotgate, as Guru always says, where he was taking 8 shots a game. It's like, dude, you're Kevin Durant. Go ahead, George. I'll let you finish up.
Yeah.
It's all about Kevin Durant did a lot of that because he got the attention for it. He's a spoiled brat. We love him. He's part of the family, but he's the spoiled brat in the family.
Well,
Draymond's the antagonist.
Draymond's no saint either. They're both bad vehicles for me feeling empathy for at the end of the day, if we're being quite honest. But it does matter what ends up happening with Jordan Poole.
Well, here's the thing that we're going to hear about this all season long. A question like this from the 415 on the Xfinity Mobile text line. Draymond should get traded or fired. You cannot allow an employee to go around punching people and get a slap on their wrist. If Bonta sucker punched Shasky, the bosses will say, will the bosses say, Bonta Butcher, suck it up and give me a fine for $50? No, I'd probably be fired. But this isn't the NBA.
No.
This isn't a basketball team, and we're not professional athletes.
Yeah, the workplace norms here are not applicable to the NBA locker room. And here's somebody who jumped into the chat and spent some nice money. Thank you, Bunab. Wow, no suspension. What's the message being sent here? Bonta, as someone who's covered the team for a long time, is there a message being sent here, or is this more we're trying to do the best we can, navigating the troubled waters we're going in now?
We don't know what's happened behind the scenes.
I know.
We don't know what's happened behind the scenes over the last week. And it's a great point. Nick Friedel brought it up, the culture of the Golden State Warriors. When you have a Stephen Curry, and look, there's no doubt they looked at the situation. If this was not Draymond Green and this was another player,
it would be totally different.
It'd be totally different.
Yeah.
But we're talking about a 4-time champ. We're talking about a DPOY. We're talking about a guy who knows how to play with Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. We're talking about a guy who his emotions can help spur the Warriors on runs. Now, Nick was right. His talents have declined over the past few years. We want him to shoot more open jumpers. Hell, when he gets aggressive and the Warriors when he scores 8 or more points, the Warriors win. They're nearly unbeatable over the course of his career, which is insane.
And before he hurt his back, he was in the running for Defensive Player of the Year.
He was playing the best basketball he had in years.
Yes.
In years. So we don't know what's happened behind the scenes. I think the message outside the world, outside their bubble, we saw Brandon Hayward say, this is a joke. How can you do this here? How can you do this? Hell, Pat Riley wanted fights happening. Now, I get it. It's a different time. It's a different time.
Yeah.
Pat Riley welcomes stuff like this. Some coaches welcome friction like this. Does it happen all the time? Depends on who you ask.
Well, I think it was interesting when we talked to Nick Friedel, and I'm glad that he told us that he was covering the Bobby Portis situation where he punched a teammate. He said their play on the court had never been better after that incident, but once the game ended, they never talked.
They never spoke.
And to me, it's irrelevant whether they're friends or not. Does their on-court relationship, is it good? Is it good enough? Do the other players not pass to each other or whatever, or is it awkward? Like, can they all just put their stuff aside and play? Can they be professional on the court? And that's really all that matters.
Well, also the message, too. We heard the message from Kevon Looney. We heard it from Steve Kerr. We've heard it from Steph. The trust has been broken. Draymond as a leader has work to do. He has work to do with this team. Looney said it. Steph said it. Everybody in the organization knows he has work to do. So what is that work? Is it counseling? Is it therapy? Is it anger management? We shall see.
I think it's a day-to-day thing, man.
It's a day-to-day operation.
I've kind of been there on this level
Right.
where you're not just going to I took a couple days away. I'm good. I'm rehabilitated. Our relationship's fine. It's something you're going to have to be constantly monitoring and working on if you truly want to change.
Right. No doubt.
Or if
No
you
doubt
truly
about
want to win them over even as a professional, they're going to have to, the amount of work they're going to have to put in together to be able to make it applicable for everyone around them.
Right.
That's going to be tough.
No doubt. And again, I don't think they explored a trade whatsoever. It's Draymond Green. You've won wars with this guy.
Yeah.
Wars. And then you got to think about, because we're all thinking about the PR hit, right? Warriors are taking a PR hit right now because in a lot of people's mind, they didn't handle this situation well. They took a PR hit when the video leaked. A day after Myers, Kerr, and Steph Curry talked, right? That was a bad look. Bad look for everybody in that organization. They look bad. And Steve Kerr mentioned that last night. He was like, look, man, we got to have work to do as an organization. We don't look great right now. In terms of the outside world. But you imagine if they actually traded Draymond Green hypothetically this year. You trade Draymond Green, what about that PR hit?
Well,
we're not thinking about that.
I mean,
you trade a 4-time champ right before a season when you're trying to go back-to-back. What about the PR hit there? It's all these variables the Warriors have had to weigh over the last week.
You know, the way that I keep thinking about it, I think people have underestimated the amount of there are about 20 people that are going to be traveling together in a tiny little family for the next 6 months. And that's how it is. So this whole dynamic of you just got to let it go and these guys are going to be fine. And no, there's a reason that the NBA more than any other league is drama filled. It's because it's such tight teams, close quarters, smaller amounts of people that you're working with. And so you can't just hide somebody who's a malcontent or doesn't get along with people. It actually affects the working environment more than any other sport because of the limited amount of people. And so I keep coming back to this. If that locker room has come to some sort of an agreement that they think moving forward, this is the best way to do it,
then it's the best way to do it.
I feel like they've earned the benefit of the doubt because of the championship medal and because of their decade together for the big guys. I'm talking Looney and Iggy and Bob and Steve and Steph Curry and Clay. They've earned the benefit of the doubt for me to say as a fan, hey, I'm going to let them play this thing out. Let's hear what Jordan Poole has to say before I'm outraged by anything right now. We have to see it before we can really make an assessment.
Let's go back out to the lines. Adam in the city. Adam, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Morning, guys. I think one of the underrated things, too, about the situation is just, the power of Steph Curry. And what I mean by that is just how good of a leader he is, how he can bring people together. I think that was mentioned in the press conference last night by Steve of how instrumental Steph was in, kind of righting this ship. And it's really weird, and I'm still conflicted. I'm going to the game next week, the opening night, and it's how are the fans gonna treat Draymond when he gets announced for his ring, assuming he's gonna play since he's not gonna be suspended? How is that gonna look? So I want to move past that point in the sense that I trust our front office, I trust Steph, I trust Steve. If they got this figured out, then fine. Let's move on. Obviously it's still going to be a talking point, but I trust them more than I trust anybody else. So we'll see what happens.
What I'm saying.
Really quickly though, from last night's game, I wanted to call in with a hot take. I think Moses Moody is better than Jonathan Kuminga. That dude is a stud, and he looks like a 10-year vet. He knows how to play basketball. He's really good. That's my hot take, and also I'm riding the Pat Spencer train. That's
Thanks for the call, Adam. We'll get to John at Richmond in just a second. Real quick on Moody. Moody may be farther along than Jonathan Kuminga. Right now, Jonathan Kuminga looks like a small ball 4, not necessarily a natural 3.
He ain't a 3. To me, he's not a 3.
He's a 4 right now.
Yeah, even a small ball 5.
Right, and Moody, he knows how to play the game. He knows how to play off the ball. He knows how to play with others. That's that seasoning he had at Arkansas under Eric Musselman. So I don't think it's a hot take. Moody's balling right now. Moody's looking smooth.
7 months ago, if you would have said, Joe, you have to keep one of these two, Wiseman or Kuminga, I would have said Kuminga without a doubt. It would have been 100%.
Right.
Today, I'm leaning 60% Wiseman.
But you know what, though?
I'm not saying that you have to choose between the two.
It's going to be game to game. It's going to be game to game.
I mean, Wiseman looks pretty special.
I'm a Wiseman guy, but I'm also a Kuminga guy, and I'm a Moody guy. I love Kuminga. I love Moody. I love Wiseman. You got to think about what's in front of Kuminga, what's in front of Wiseman.
Doubt.
Got Looney, so there's minutes there for him. Kuminga's just got to figure out his role. Kuminga's going to have games where we're like, that's the guy. Wiseman's going to have games where we're like, oh, we're T. Wiseman over Kuminga Moody. Moody's going to have games where we're like, he's better than both Wiseman. So I don't want to do this every single game.
No, it wasn't more like me picking the two. It was more, look at the quantum leap he's made in just a few games and being healthy.
Right.
Like, he looks phenomenal.
And look, Moody was flashing yesterday with the 20 points, the 3 threes. Wiseman was flashing yesterday, being 6 of 8, 18 points in 18 minutes, right? 18 points in 18 minutes, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. But Kuminga wasn't bad. 3 of 9, 10 points, 3 rebounds. And I thought he played the right way. At times.
He's a work in progress. It can get clunky at times, but what he does that no one else on this roster does is he gets to the free throw line.
Gets to the free throw line, and he was 3 of 4 from the free throw line. He's got to work on his 3. He was only 1 of 5. But he also played solid defense. His defense was on point.
He's a monster. I mean, he's going to be really good. And this
is an embarrassment of riches, man.
Well, and one thing that we, as we're talking about the Draymond Green thing, it's going to be interesting for all these young guys. You know, as
how they look up to Draymond Green?
Yeah, and just kind of like, you know, moving forward, you know, the egos are real. I don't care what profession you're in. Egos are real. Now imagine what it is in an NBA locker room. Right. It's through the roof, right?
Right.
And so when these guys all start, you know, hey, you missed that assignment, and one of them is calling them out, how do these young guys react to that? You know, what are the things that they're going to be feeling behind the scenes in terms as they're fighting for minutes and all of this stuff's going on? You know, I don't know if Draymond can be his normal yelling, screaming leadership self.
Well, if he can't, then what's the value of Draymond Green? Because that's what makes Draymond Green. When he starts barking, he picks up a technical, his game usually ratchets up another notch.
Yeah, but can he evolve his language a little to where it doesn't, you know, belittle some of his teammates?
They take away from his game. Then it compromises him.
Well,
I need Draymond to be Draymond. That's who we all grown to love.
Him yelling at Wiseman does not make him a great defender on Jokic.
I don't want him yelling at teammates.
I just disagree with that.
I'm not condoning that whatsoever. Yeah. What I'm saying is when he's barking at refs and he's barking at the other team and he's stomping on the court and he's yelling at the crowd to get the F up, that's what Draymond you need. Well, that's what Draymond who helps the team go to another level.
I don't see the correlation between, and this is just me, I don't see the correlation between you playing well and you berating an official nonstop for 2 minutes.
That gets him going.
Well,
certain things get certain people going.
You got to evolve over
listen
time.
to jazz going to the games. I like to listen to hip-hop when I come into the studio. You like to listen to Mac Dre when you come into the studio.
When Jason Kidd came into the league, as an example, he couldn't shoot a lick. And his game evolved over 15 years to where he could knock down threes at the end, and that's why they ended up winning the championship with the Dallas Mavericks. No one's saying that Draymond can't play passionate. What I'm saying is there's a time and a place, and there are certain individuals you can direct that frustration at, and I'm hoping as time goes on, he can evolve a little.
Dude, I don't think Draymond Green... I don't want him yelling at Wiseman. I don't think that's right. I don't want him yelling at teammates on the floor. That's not right. But in terms of the other stuff where he's getting down and dirty, like his game 2 against the Boston Celtics, Baldy brought up the Niners defensive line being a demolition derby. They're just running into people. That was Draymond Green in game 2.
He's running into everyone.
He was psycho. But you know what? That psycho Draymond helped them win that game.
Yeah, but then where was that on game 3?
Well, he showed up late in game 4, and he showed up in game 5, and he showed up in game 6. That's what makes Draymond Draymond. You can't tell Draymond not to do this stuff because I'm not getting the full Draymond Green experience. That's the full That's what's helped you make Draymond Green being Draymond Green is what helped made the Warriors a 4-time champ in the last 8 years.
You might not, but I draw a distinction between being passionate and being energetic and being so angry out of your mind that you're running your team into free throws because of your technicals and then getting kicked out of a game against Memphis and doing a Ric Flair runaround like you're Hollywood Hogan.
That's Draymond Green.
As you're out, now you're not helping your team because you're in the locker room.
Yeah, that's Draymond Green, but you know what? They won that game. They won that game.
Without him on the floor.
They won that game. Exactly.
Yeah.
They won that
others
game.
stepped up.
You can't tell Day-Day not to be Day-Day.
I'm sure Looney was like,
not gonna be Day-Day.
I got 20 rebounds because Draymond screamed at an official.
Listen,
that's a false equivalency.
You tell Day-Day not to be Day-Day, you're not going to have Day-Day be Day-Day.
Well,
you're not going to get the full Draymond. You're
his
just not going to get him.
A little.
Not going to get him. That's a bar, right, Matt? That's a bar. You want Day-Day to be Day-Day? Let Day-Day be Day-Day. That's who he is. That's how white people love him.
Well,
he's our Rodman. He's our Dennis Rodman.
It's those antics that lost them the 2016 finals. You know,
I think it was an accumulation. Getting suspended for the LeBron James stuff was That was a joke.
Well,
Kiki Vandeweghe and the Commissioner League wanted that series extended. I truly believe that was a joke.
Bonta.
That was a joke. LeBron James went up to the podium, started snitching. He got his little snitching Shasky on and started saying, well, you don't call me this and
but
that.
Draymond
I'm a grown man, yada, yada, yada.
And we're gone a little off track here.
All right,
Draymond wasn't suspended because of just that action. It was the totality
I know that.
of the flagrants that he accumulated. In a victory, he's tussling on the floor with Michael Beasley as time is expiring.
I know he DDT'd him.
Stupid.
But that act in the finals where LeBron James stepped right over him and teabagged him and baited him. That should have been a suspicion.
This is the story of Draymond. For me, the bigger story. It's never about the singular action. It's about the totality of wearing this fan base down with crazy shenanigans.
He doesn't wear everybody down.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at it.
He doesn't wear everybody down.
Kerr in an OKC game. Game 5 of the finals. Yelling at KD. Like, there's a laundry list of things this guy has done over the years. It's never one thing. It's the totality for me.
Do you win those championships without him?
No. And that's the double-edged sword of Draymond.
You got to accept it.
Well,
he's not perfect. He's not perfect.
I'm asking a guy to mature as time goes on and
he's
evolve.
Trying to. Well, but he has those setbacks. Rodman got worse over the course of his career.
And that's why he bounced onto 5 different teams.
But he still got you those championships. Jordan doesn't go three-peat again without Dennis Rodman.
Both can be true.
I know. You got to live with it. You got to have Draymond running hot. That's what gets him going. I don't want him being.
Do you think Steve Kerr this morning wants to live with it? Because it seems like the coach himself is very, very sick and tired of it.
They are obviously living. They're living with it now.
Well,
he's not getting suspended, right?
No, but he didn't seem happy.
He's not happy. But guess what? He's going to be playing Friday night against the Nuggets in the last preseason game.
Yeah, I know.
He's going to be playing on ring night. Fans are going to cheer him when he gets that 4th ring. They're not going to care about what happened last week.
I just don't see the correlation from technicals to that's the way I have to play to be able to be good. I think you could still draw a line. You can run right up to the line and not go past it. That's the way I view it.
Certain players have different motivations.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Jordan looked for things. He made up things.
Yeah, but Jordan didn't get tossed out of games.
Yeah, but he made up, because he's Michael Jordan, but he made up things to get motivated.
You know?
He made up things to get motivated. Yeah. Kobe Bryant berated teammates with the LA Lakers. You think he was a great teammate? Guess what?
I think also Kobe evolved over time. I do.
At times.
I do. I think that his relationship with Shaq, he realized some of the mistakes he made, and you see the relationship, with Powell.
Go ask Dwight Howard whether or not Kobe Bryant matured.
Well, I mean, Dwight Howard is not the vehicle to be using in this.
But Kobe ran him out of L.A.
Yeah, he stunk. He's a bad teammate. He's been on 10 different teams.
Well,
I'm not going to exonerate bad behavior. And that's, again, it's never the one thing with Draymond. It's the totality of things. No one is saying that he's not a great player. He is a great player.
And I'm not
this is the grab bag.
Shasky, I'm not excusing his actions. All I'm saying is you want him to stop yelling at refs and stop yelling on the floor and stop dropping F-bombs? Well, guess what? You're not going to get to Draymond Green. And then you're going to have a compromised player who's all of a sudden, you know what? He's not helping our team win. That's not who he is. That's not how he plays.
Game 5 and Game 6, where he was really good against Boston.
He was talking that talk.
Yeah, but he was hyper-focused. He wasn't yelling at the officials. Go back and watch. He did not have any...
He was barking in Boston.
At players,
was barking at Boston.
At them.
That's what I'm saying.
But not at officials.
He had a couple moments. He had a couple moments with officials.
You know, there's a discernment. We can draw a line between them.
He had a couple moments with officials there in Game 5 and Game 6. He was egging on the Boston crowd. And he was dynamic in Game 6. So let's get back to the lines. John in Richmond. John, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Yeah, hey guys. So I think this let day be day, thinking is what's enabled Draymond and why he's never changed. And like the whole time he's been with the Warriors. I mean, he always gets away with everything he does. And you guys were asking like, what's the fan reaction? Like, I'm over him, and I personally think that this year will be his last year unless he picks up his option, and then he'll be gone after that because I think the Warriors are over him. I mean, between all the violence and all his history with the technicals and him losing his mind over things, ever since he signed with Clutch, he has this infatuation with, LeBron, and he says things like, oh, I'd go to the Lakers for, the mid-level exception or whatever he said. Like, stuff like that.
John, let me ask you this, John.
Does this.
John, can I ask you this?
Yeah.
If the Warriors were over Draymond Green, don't you think he would have been out of here yesterday?
No, because I think like you said, you can't trade a guy when you're going for back-to-back. But I think this is going to be their excuse for why. Like, there's only 4 guys that they're trying to re-sign right now. Clay, Poole, Draymond, and Wiggins. Draymond's going to be the one left out. And if you don't pick up that exception, I'm telling you, he's going to be gone because everything. And then one more point. The way he handled this, everyone's saying, first of all, he leaked that thing to Chris Hayes about Poole's attitude. Then he came out when he was apologizing, and he's like, well, the video was clipped if people really knew. And then his mom, like, the guy never takes responsibility. Even when he's trying to, stay on script, you can see that he just doesn't get it, and he's never going to get it. And people keep saying, well, the Warriors have earned, the right because they're champions. Well, they haven't shown a very good way of dealing with Draymond because he keeps being a repeat offender. So maybe they should at least switch up that tactic a little bit because the dude doesn't learn.
No, that's a hell of a call, John, and I respect your opinion. It's a hell of a call. Do I think the Warriors handled this situation the best way they could have? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And at times, it almost felt like the leak was more important than what happened to Jordan Poole. That's what bothered me at times.
I hear you on that.
Obviously, they were doing things behind the scenes to rectify the situation and make sure that these guys can coexist. But in terms of Draymond Green not learning, I hope he does learn from this. I really do. I hope he does mature. Because there is a lot of things. Like what bothers me about Draymond Green is during the 15-win season where he says, I didn't play hard. That's a problem. When you go on the shop and you say, we're playing the Kings or OKC, I can't get up for that game. That to me is a problem because a kid is going to watch them for the first time ever, and he could be kid could be the biggest Draymond Green fan. Parents go scrape up some money. You get a ticket, 4 tickets at an NBA game. That's top dollar.
Well, that's not a cheap ticket. If Steph himself had insinuated during the year with Kelly Oubre when they didn't make the playoffs and they played in the playing game, there were nights that I didn't want to play hard. Right. We would be pretty disappointed.
Very disappointed.
I mean,
Instead, Steph went out there to average 37 in the month of March and try to carry him to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So he did play hard.
But I think that this is the reason Draymond's such a compelling character is because everyone can see the good. And everyone can also see a lot of the negative.
Does the good outweigh the bad?
Well, and how much are you willing to tolerate, and what are the elements that you're willing to tolerate, and, what is reasonable to expect as he moves forward? How can he kind of mitigate some of the negatives and highlight all of his positives? Like, this is the part of Draymond Green that makes him so complicated.
I'm realizing just by taking the calls or looking at the chat, looking at the text, and Sam Lubman, give me the 5-minute warning there. It's you know what I need Sam back on the producer side. I got to see Sam Lubman every time I'm talking. I don't know. It's like he wants to jump in. He's giving me. He's like nodding his head. He's like giving me thumbs up for takes. I like it. I like it and I don't like it. Maybe I need more matching in my life. But a lot of people are conflicted with Draymond Green, and I feel like a lot of people are feeling like you, where they're just out on him. They're out on him. Like I can see in your face right now. It may be tough for you to root for Draymond this year, Shasky.
I'm fatigued by the guy, but at the end of the day, to your point, then you get a Game 5 and Game 6 or the end of Game 4 where I'm in the stands at Boston. Let's go back, okay? Steph Curry's having one of the greatest nights ever. Yeah. Draymond Green was unplayable for 3 quarters. I was like, get him out of the game. He was playing very bad, right? And he's not the only one. Guys play bad in big moments. Like, Steph's had bad moments in big-time games, but it felt like Game 3 and Game 4, he was damn near unplayable. And then what does he do? He lures me back in with a couple of strips down the stretch with 5 minutes to go. And do I overlook the bad play? No, it's still there. And then he comes back in Game 5 and has a great game. And then Game 6 was a signature Draymond Green game. And he gets the final mic drop, and I say to myself, why can't we bottle up more of what you did in Game 6 and omit some of the theatrics from Game 3 and Game 4? I guess he's a very complicated player, and I struggle with embracing him fully at all times because there are a lot of things that he does that drive me completely insane.
The podcast after
no, I don't even care about podcasts. Yeah. You know what I don't like? I honestly, it's the and here's where I'm at with Dre. When you watch every game like we do, he never lets up on the officials, and I get exhausted watching it.
You know what?
Steph Curry's one of the greatest players of all time. What? When he yells at an official, I'll let you say your point. Right. When Steph Curry finally, it means something to me because I'm like, Steph doesn't really talk to the officials that much. And LeBron's the same way. When you're constantly crying and berating officials, me as a viewer, I'm fatigued by it, and I wish that he would pick and choose his spots more.
You know
That's just me.
The hell with these NBA officials. As fans, we should be yelling at those jabronis. Mark Davis, Scott Foster, Courtney Kirkland.
They stink.
The hell with these officials. They need to be yelled at more because they make terrible calls all game long. I don't care about their feelings. Screw these refs. He make terrible calls.
They stink.
Wiggins' biggest moment of his life. Mark Davis tried to ruin it by calling a charge on Luka Doncic. I don't care. They need to be yelled at more.
Bad.
Screw those referees. Screw those refs. I don't give a damn about the officials.
But Bonta,
I really don't.
If the way I view it is, if you're watching all year, it's just constant.
The officials are trash.
82 nights, all 82 nights, or the games that he plays, he's just in an official's face.
And the officials, because the players know the rule book seems like better than the officials get off easy. They should be answering questions after games for those egregious calls they make on a night in and night out basis. So,
I agree with the officials not being good. I'm 100%
Steve Kerr yells at the refs. Everybody yells at the refs. Jonathan in the city, what's happening? You're on the roast. Jonathan, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. The Warriors handled it the best way possible to handle it. Because you know why? Dude, the goal is to win championships. If that's the goal, you want Draymond Green to be part of the team. Not... he can't get rid of the guy. You know why? Because he's got company secrets in his head, bro. Both offense and defense. So until if you want to get rid of Draymond Green, it's like saying you want to destroy the dynasty. You know what happened when Charles Haley was traded, right? So hey, we're not getting rid of Draymond Green. This is the way to handle it. They're telling us. It's a family business because Draymond Green is Draymond Green. He's never going to change. And I don't mind what happened. I don't mind how they handled everything because, dude, I'm from the old school, bro. These things happen all the time.
Jonathan, thanks for the call. It's very wild to see the spectrum it takes.
Oh, no
I hear
doubt.
from people that say, this doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
Did you see Kenny Smith, who played with Vernon Maxwell? He's like, well, that happens all the time.
Yeah, and Vernon Maxwell is no saint.
Yeah, he's
I'll just say that lightly.
Yeah, Mad Max got that nickname for a reason. Depending on the player. Brendan Haywood thought, you know what? This is wrong. The Warriors messed up. They botched this situation. Kendrick Perkins, hey, there's no coming back from this. Is there any coming back from this? Can Jordan Poole, that's the missing piece here. What does Jordan Poole think?
No, it's a great question.
What does Jordan Poole? Because we could go all day long. We could read the resume of Draymond Green.
Well, this is the way
he drives us all crazy.
No, but this is the way I would summarize Draymond. He is the ultimate can't live with him, can't live without him. Like, to me, that's what he is. Everyone acknowledges how good he is and all the crazy things that he can do on a court that nobody else in the league can do in terms of defense, playmaking, setting up, the feel with him and Steph on the two-man game, setting screens on ball. It's a lost art.
He's a player, man.
His ability to communicate on defense, and then you get all the shenanigans.
Yeah.
Right? So he, to me, is the ultimate cliche. Can't live with him, and you certainly can't live without him.
All right, we're going to get Anthony G, Justin, Linda, Rich. You guys are all coming up on deck. Rich, we'll get to you first on the other side. A lot of your calls. We want to hear from you. Are you satisfied with the punishment? What do you think about the situation? Plus, we had a game last night, and Wiseman looked good. That's the whole Steve Kerr. He looked great. I'm so excited about Wiseman, Moody. I'm actually excited to not talk about this situation anymore with Draymond Green and Jordan Poole. That's been fatiguing, but we have to do what we have to do here on the Morning Rush on 95.7 The Game. Lutman, hit it.
It's time for the injury report. That really hurt. Brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
Oh, Shasky. Niners working out a new kicker.
Chase McLaughlin's on a team, so who could they be working out?
Maybe they're getting Sebastian Janikowski back from maybe getting him out of retirement.
I've got the line to Jose Cortez. Let's book him.
What about Doug O'Brien?
Jeff Chandler online too. I've got Wade Ritchie's brother.
Jeff Wilkins.
Yeah.
What about Jeff Wilkins? I have a line on him.
Klaus Wilmeyer. We can get him.
Mike Kofer. He's still hanging around. He kicks balls at his ranch. I don't even know if Mike Kofer has a wrench. Anyway, Robbie Gold's status for Sunday's game is uncertain after he sustained a knee bruise while trying to make a tackle in Sunday's game. I told you teams ain't special. That's why they're just teams. Kickoff team, kickoff return team. Ain't no special teams when it comes to the Niners. While Gold has not been ruled out yet, the Niners did bring in kickers for tryouts as if he is inactive. Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons. We'll talk more Niners tomorrow. Right now, we're humming on the Draymond Green situation, and the Warriors winning last night in their second to last preseason game. Wiseman looked good. Moody looked good. JaMychal Green, what a find. What about that two-man game between Green and Wiseman? That was nice.
Pat Spencer Hive?
Pat Spencer. Santa Cruz, here we come, baby. Nothing wrong with that. That's what's coming up. Sponsored by Fremont Bank, full service banking, no compromises.
Opening night is less than a week away.
Poole fakes and fires to half court on the way. He got it! He hit it from half court! Poole walks away and says, yes, sir! I got this!
Hear every three.
Curry takes a three. It's up and good!
Every splash.
Flash for three for Clay.
And every moment.
No good. Stand home by Wiggins!
The home of the champs. 95.7 The Game.
O'Reilly. It's Super Start Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get up to a $25 gift card after a mail-in rebate with the purchase of select Super Start batteries. For power, performance, and reliability, choose Super Start batteries. We also have battery solutions for many hybrid and electric vehicles. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
California, you deserve more. And with United Healthcare, you'll get more. Annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. So call United Healthcare today. With the United Healthcare Medicare Advantage Plan, you get more from your Medicare dollar, now including better than ever dental, vision, over-the-counter, and prescription drug coverage. Call United Healthcare at 1-888-CALL-UHC today and speak with a licensed sales agent. Benefits, features, and/or devices vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Gorgeous gaming, stunning streams, unbelievable bandwidth. It's another Lifestyles of Gagillionaires. Meet the AT&T Fiber customers winning at life with hyper gig speeds. Meet Gagillionaire Terry. While his love of streaming horror movies has him constantly on the edge of his seat, his internet bill won't give him a scare.
Oh, don't go in there. I'm telling you.
Because since Terry upgraded to AT&T Fiber with hyper gig speeds, he doesn't worry about data caps or equipment fees.
Come on, man. The door's open for a reason.
And best yet, he also doesn't stress about a price increase at 12 months. Because with the amazing Gagillionaire lifestyle comes an exquisite sense of tranquility. Most of the time. Live like a Gagillionaire. Get straightforward pricing with AT&T Fiber. Internet that upgrades everything. No data caps, no equipment fees, and no price increase at 12 months.
Limited availability in select areas. Visit att.com/hypergig for details.
Listen, could Robert change your life?
At the age of 55, I started putting on weight, and I got to the weight of about 210 pounds. Always hungry. The heavier I got, the less energy I had. And about 6 months ago, I started taking the Andro 400, and I started realizing I had more energy. I felt better, and my mind was clearer, and I started losing weight. I went from my max weight was 215, and now I'm down to 176. My waist size has dropped from a 38 to a 32, and I've lost these big love handles that I had on my side, and I just look a lot slimmer.
Since 2004, Andro 400 has helped men lose belly fat, gain energy, and to look and feel their best. Go to andro400.com for more true testimonials, before and after photos, and special discounts. Only available on andro400.com. andro400.com.
95.7 The Game is an equal opportunity employer, and we encourage local community organizations to refer qualified applicants to us. You can receive The Game and Odyssey job vacancy information by contacting Human Resources at 415-765-4011 or by emailing sfhr@odyssey.com.
Neuropathy pain? Call Dr. Robert Dees, DC, 925-393-0100.
Golfers, now at the Golf Mart, it's time to hit faster, longer, and straighter with Titleist. The new TSR drivers are designed to maximize distance and elevate your performance. Titleist TSR driver, pushing for perfection every day. Come into the Golf Mart for the new Titleist TSR drivers and get custom fit for free today. Can't make it in store? Visit us online at worldwidegolfshops.com. The Golf Mart, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee and family owned and operated since 1984.
Locked On Warriors is a daily podcast covering your favorite team, the defending world champion Golden State Warriors. I'm your host, Cyrus Softas, and every Monday through Friday, Locked On Warriors brings you all of the biggest Warriors stories in around 30 minutes. We cover Stephen Curry and the dynasty that is one of the greatest teams in the history of this beautiful game. Listen to the Locked On Warriors podcast every day on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Traveling, volunteering, spending time with family.
What's your retirement look like? With income planning from Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor can help you grow and protect your wealth. They'll look at your full financial picture and help you create a flexible strategy that considers things like market conditions and healthcare expenses, so you can stop worrying about the future and enjoy whatever comes next. Visit fidelity.com/income planning. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE SIPC.
When people have a craving to explore new and traditional Asian cuisines, they head to P.F. Chang's, where scratch-made dishes come from the 2,000-year-old tradition of wok cooking. P.F. Chang's wanted to explore new possibilities for their website. They turned to AmericanEagle.com. AmericanEagle.com re-architected P.F. Chang's website, integrating multiple third-party systems to create a unified digital experience. The results? Improved page speed and performance, personalized content based on users' location, intuitive online ordering, an increase in organic search visibility, and a 40% increase in new users. For scratch-made Asian cuisine, visit your local P.F. Chang's or go to pfchangs.com for website design, development, digital marketing, and hosting that produce efficiency, revenue, and results. Visit AmericanEagle.com. P.F. Chang's and AmericanEagle.com. Another example of the best businesses in the world, turning to the best in the business for websites. Go to AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW1. That's 877-WEB-NOW1.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, kgmz-fm at HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast. Featuring
Fillmore's finest, Bonta here. The pride of the Excelsior, Joe Butcher Boy Shasky. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, the morning roast.
It feels like we got our own Michael Buffer. What up, Duke in the city? Good morning. Good morning, everybody out there driving on the roadways. Good morning if you're getting off your graveyard shift. If you're getting ready for work or if you're at work, good morning to you. Drive safely there on the roadways. It is traffic starting to pick up here post-pandemic. That beat still knocks. We had to go back to the Snoop Dogg. We had to go back to this beat. I can't say the name of the song. I almost forgot.
The snip.
Yeah, the S. The S stuff. Anyway, good morning to Lubman. Look at Lubman on the board, man. Why'd you fade it out so hard like that? Come on, Lubman. You're rocking. You look hip today.
That flute hits so hard.
It does hit hard.
It's too soon for the Draymond hit joke, but I'm not going to go there.
Oh, the hit joke. There's a lot of jokes online about that. Oh, by the way, we got Kyle Matson. Backwards hat. Old Dubs hat. Matson's chilling. Answer the calls.
Keep it real, Matson. You know this show's so fire.
No, don't say that. He's got it. No, why would you do that, Shasky? You let the other people say it's fire. Well, you don't say. You just say, hey, I'm just happy to be on the roast.
Time out. As someone who listens to every single show here on the station, all the shows can be fire simultaneously. Just because you put out a hot mixtape, mixtape doesn't mean that I can as well.
Way to cover that one up.
I mean, we're giving our secondary with that back pedal.
Wow, better than Dion. Better than Dion. I am swag.
Oh,
that's
my
right, Dion.
God.
I am swag.
That's tomorrow. Can we get into that tomorrow? Today's Draymond.
See John Lynch with Deion Sanders in the cart? Do you see that?
Come on. I see everything.
Had to go see Prime?
I'm like Hufanga right now. I see the field.
Oh, man. You didn't see the Tottenham field. You didn't see the Tottenham field.
You sent me the video.
Yeah, there you go.
You're going way deep inside.
Right, yeah, you're going deep inside. Let the other people say. And by the way, silence is deafening. Silence is golden. Matson didn't even reply to you saying, hey, this show is fire. Matson's like, whatever.
Yeah, I couldn't reply. You guys never shut up.
That is very true.
Wow.
There's no airspace on this show.
No.
True story. Love it and Matson. If I take a pregnant pause, Shasky's jumping right in.
Well, yeah.
So David Bruce, good luck working with those pregnant pauses David Bruce has mastered. I can't do that on a roast. I want to implement pregnant pauses, but I can't because we're a bunch of gas bags.
I mean, speak for yourself, bro. What the hell?
You're Russell Westbrook, and I'm...
We do ball movement, first off. We do not do your turn, my turn. I am not Billy Donovan.
No, I'm Kobe, and you're like, sure. So get out the way. Get out the way.
At least let me be Shaq.
All right, you can be Shaq.
I'll even be Pau Gasol in this particular...
What about Richard Fremont? What about Richard Fremont? Who is he? He's Richard Fremont. Rich, what's happening? You're on the roast. What's your thoughts on Draymond Green?
Wait a minute, I can't believe you asked that question about that. You know Richard Fremont. You've been on my podcast. Don't even try to. And by the way, Butcher Boy,
yo,
you got to help me out, man, so I can know how to cut that beef because you are the Butcher Boy.
Thank you.
You do.
Game time. Game time, Rich.
So the thing is this. At the end of the day, there's a stat, okay, that Steph Curry and Klay Thompson don't have, okay? And that stat is this. Nobody is more polarizing than Draymond Green. You either like the guy or you hate the guy. At the end of the day, this guy makes you watch him, whether you want to or whether you don't. And the fact of the matter is that at the end of the day, Day-Day's going to be Day-Day. Okay?
Yeah.
And what we all have to admit is this. You guys were talking about family earlier. Every family member, I don't care who it is, whether you love him, whether you hate him, you got to accept him for who he is, because that's who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying I'm condoning what he did to Jordan Poole. That was wrong. It was very wrong. But still, at the end of the day, he's family. So you got to learn to forgive and move on and accept the fact that at the end of the day, Day-Day is going to be Day-Day.
Well, Rich, can we meet in the middle and say that, yes, of course you got to forgive in life, just in general, right? It's the golden rule from the Bible, but it doesn't mean you have to forget, nor does that not mean that there isn't repercussions where you have to build back up your relationship. I think all of those things can be true. No one is saying that you got to hate somebody forever. But at the same time, you can't just go, that's okay, and just keep it moving. Not every single thing you do in life can be easily forgotten, I guess is where I'm going.
And you're right. I don't disagree. This is part of Day-Day's history.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, this will never be erased.
Yeah.
Okay? He did what he did, and everybody saw it, and everybody knows. And if he does something more egregious, then guess what? He's going to be an outcast.
Yeah.
He is,
So
no doubt.
No, you can't.
No doubt. Thanks for the call, Rich. Thanks for the call. Real quick, before we get to Linda, here's what Steve Kerr had to say about the trust that Draymond broke.
Again, I'll go back to, Draymond and I have been together for 8 years. We've had plenty of run-ins. We've won championships together. We've lost championships together. We've been through an awful lot together. I trust him. He broke our trust with this incident, but I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because I think he's earned that. And I think our team feels the same way. So he knows he needs to regain that.
Does Draymond Green deserve the BOD, benefit of doubt? Does Draymond Green deserve it? Linda, 680. Let you answer that after Linda, Shasky. Mm-hmm. Linda on 680. What's happening? You're on the roast.
Good morning, fellas. It's been a long 3 months since I've talked to you. How you doing?
We're good, Linda. We did miss you. We love your takes. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm not a big Giants fan, but, I'll hang in there with you guys for the 49ers and the Warriors for sure.
There we go.
Thank you.
So, while I was driving, I kept thinking about, referees and how we move forward in the league. And you started the conversation with referees and their take on it, and I'm concerned that as we move into the season with now what has happened and transpired, what is the referee's take on this, and how forgiving are they going to be as he approaches them during different times in the game? Are they going to be so quick to go, you know what, I'm fed up with you, boom, here's your tea, and not be respectful to listen to what he has to say or to understand what area he's coming from to talk about a call and not feel like he's moving up on him?
Yeah, that's a great point, Linda, because I watched the Tim Donaghy doc, and they were talking about how the referees have big beefs.
Big beefs.
Now, again, this is 15 to 20 years ago, but if you don't think that these people all have personal relationships, like to your point, Linda, and want to make a point or are just fed up, or now they feel that they can green light Draymond, like I do think that's an element moving forward that I hadn't even considered just yet.
Yeah, it really worries me. And I mean, Joe, I know you coach kids. I coach kids. I want them to have their favorite players and to emulate somebody on the court. And I'm afraid that as I get my basketball tryout started in a few weeks, how many kids are going to come thinking they need to be the enforcer and be a little more aggressive? And I'm going to say, oh, it's okay. You're just a kid. I can't do that.
I know, Linda. I'm wearing my CYO shirt right now, Linda. And yeah, I'm wearing my CYO championship shirt right now, and 11-time champion. And basically,
who's the guy who's got more championships than you?
Will Lucy. He has 22.
Yeah.
I'll get there.
You got a while.
Yeah, his are in soccer. I'm not sure how much those count.
Oh, soccer, big time, dude. Don't you slander soccer.
Well, St. Cecilia's is loaded in soccer.
Don't you slander soccer.
He had a lot of talent. It's like Joe Torre.
More fans. Thanks for the call.
But here's what I would say, because I do use Draymond Green as an example with kids all the time. Not necessarily the personality, but this is what I always tell kids. Who's the best rebounder on the Warriors? And for years, all their answer would be Draymond Green. I go, is he the tallest player on the team? And they go, no. And I go, why is he so good at rebounding? Well, A, he wants it more than everyone, and B, his fundamentals are flawless. And when the
positioning, boxing out, all that stuff.
When the shot goes up, he mans up, he pushes guys back with his booty. He's excellent at it. And so he is an example to a lot of the kids that I'm coaching to. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. I use Draymond. And then the other thing I always highlight, no one communicates on the defensive side better than Draymond Green in the NBA.
Exactly.
Especially as a weak side defender who's playing back on everyone. He's going baseline side to side. He's always barking out the coverages, who to cover. He pushes guys to where they need to be on the floor. He's a great example of what to be as a defender. And then all the other stuff, and that's where I tell you, it's a mixed bag for me.
That's I hope I'm saying it right, on YouTube. I would never let my kid watch Draymond Green to that point. For what? Learning how to hustle? Hey, son, look at that sloppy fast break. Look at that cheap shot. See how aggressive he gets with small guys? That's the mindset of a lot of people. Some people are out on Draymond Green because of this situation. I understand.
That's a little harsh there.
A lot of people are out on him, though.
Because if you look at the way if we're talking about just the player on the court, right? Forget the yelling and screaming, all that. Just the player on the court. We don't have enough Draymonds in basketball in general. Everyone wants to be ball dominant.
But to your point that you just tried to make the previous segment, that the yelling at refs, that's all part of it. That's all part of the experience.
See, I draw a line. That's me. I draw a line from the playing to the extra, and I put that into the extra bucket because there's so many kids that I deal with when it comes to, and again, I'm not trying to make the correlation to kids and play, but there's a lot of attitude problems, and I'm like, hey, if you want to get to the next level, you got to temper this attitude. You're going to have to work on how you communicate to teammates, how you communicate to officials. Like that's part of the maturation process of a kid to a teenager to a man or a woman.
I don't coach kids, but I would also caution on trying to mimic professionals because most professionals got the arrogance, they got the swagger, they got the cockiness. You don't want your kids out there, for example, if they're on the football field, you want your kids out there 11 years old doing the Dion out there showboating. You want to teach them sportsmanship at first, and then maybe as they get older, you implement some of that.
We're talking about the wrinkles of their fundamentals as opposed to how they conduct
but
themselves.
a lot of NBA players don't have good fundamentals.
I don't want you hitting the gritty after making a free throw.
But let's be real, with the NBA game, the reason why it's been watered down is because the fundamentals are lacking.
Well, no, that's my point. And you look at someone like who's a 4-year player like Draymond Green from Tom Izzo's program. Clearly, he understands the finer nuances from a sophisticated X's and O's standpoint. That's why everyone loves him.
Yep.
I mean, so few people have what he has in terms of the basketball brilliance of IQ.
Let's go to Anthony in Concord. What's happening, Anthony? You're on the roast. What's good?
Good morning, fellas. Good morning. How y'all doing today?
Good, man. I can't complain.
Good. So, actually, I wanted to go back to what you were talking about, Joe, because you guys were kind of debating about, like, that line that Draymond crosses. And for somebody that has always struggled with, running hot, being, fairly temperamental myself, like I don't buy that nonsense that Dre has to do that.
I'm with you.
That's complete and utter BS. And this is coming from somebody that really has struggled with that myself. And there was a time in my life where I had to ask myself, all right, and like, how can you channel this to be better in life? And you're going to always have a temper. You're always going to, like, that part of you helps you drive and be the best that you can be in certain aspects of your life, but it also affects you negatively at times. And how can you walk that line? And I figured it out. And I'm only a few years older than Dre, so if I can figure it out with no professional help and just having a solid wife and just, the wherewithal in my mind to be like, okay, like these two things, like you're not going to be this person ever because that's who you are and that's what makes you you, but you have to find out the best way to like channel that. So I think it's BS. 110%. I'm with you there.
And Anthony,
Anthony, I disagree. I disagree about that because there's some athletes who needs that. They need something to get them over the edge. All the great athletes, from Jordan to Curry. You don't think Curry reads all the stuff about petty stuff and he's like, "Oh, that's going to motivate me." Year 14, they're still knocking me.
Yeah, but how many times has he crossed the line?
He's not Draymond Green. I get that, but Draymond Green has had to do that. Number one, he's undersized, right, as a power forward. Doesn't have a great jump shot. Jump shot. He's a second-round pick that still holds a grudge for not being a first-round pick, and he still recites the 34 guys who was drafted ahead of him.
Factually
that still goes. So that edge that he plays with, That's what he needs to get the edge over a Jokic, over Anthony Davis, to get in the head of a Joel Embiid.
Screaming
to be
after
a top
block.
defender.
Screaming after a block is different from following the official on multiple possessions and yelling as the team's going down court.
LeBron James does it all the time.
And I don't like it from LeBron
Does
either.
it all the time.
I don't like it from LeBron either.
All these players do it. It's not just Draymond Green. A lot of players do it. They follow the referees. They talk to them.
But Bonta, you know this. The way you treat your top-end employees in a league and how you treat someone who's below those top employees are going to be different. You saw it. The Jordan rules for Donaghy. You can call that, but not on him. Right? And the problem is that I'm with Anthony in the sense of you need to channel that in the appropriate avenue. I think channeling it toward the shenanigan stuff, it's doing a disservice to him and his team.
I think he gets it off. He gets his technical. He cools down, and then he goes out there and plays ball. I think we're overblowing the referee thing. All of a sudden, he's yelling at referees. He's been doing it his whole damn career.
The Memphis game when he got chucked, you weren't like, "Come on, Dre."
We all laughed at it. We did the show the next day. We laughed at it.
Yeah, because
we
they
played
won.
WWE music and everything.
And if they hadn't won, wouldn't we have been crushing them?
I'm not going back 5 months later saying, "Oh my God, Draymond Green, he did." We laughed at it. The moment it happened, we laughed.
Your threshold is different from mine, and that's fine.
Shasky, we sat here and did a show after the WWE thing.
I know.
Warriors
and
won,
they won.
and he ran around, and you were like, and you said you loved it.
Well, yeah,
so we
because
can't go back on that now saying, 5 months later, you know what, he did the runaround thing, and we all got ticked off about it.
Well, when I see it now, I'm like, this is pretty stupid.
He sat up there and hit the whoop that trick when they were down 55. Game 6, he comes out and has a great game against the Memphis Grizzlies in Game 6. Scored 14 points, and we all got over it.
When he gets like, if he does get into the Hall of Fame, which I think he will, we're not gonna be like, hey, ain't nobody yelled at a teammate or an official the way Draymond did. Like, that's not what's making him a Hall of Famer. IQ, smarts, unbelievable hands defensively, his instincts on where to be, his on-ball screening, the way he shovels and moves and gets people to lift to the left.
I'm not complaining. I'm not comparing the player to these guys. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. How much did they yell at their teammates?
Yeah, but Kobe.
And how much? And how much do we love them?
And Kobe learned over time that when the way he treated Shaquille O'Neal and their relationship completely changed how he viewed Pau Gasol as a teammate.
He yelled at Paul Gasol.
Yeah, but he loved him more.
Odom.
They were buddies. He
yelled at Sasha Vucevic. He yelled at all those guys.
And also, Kobe is different from Draymond.
And then they get Nick
Kobe's
Young.
Kobe.
And they get Nick Young. And they get all these other guys. And he yells at them.
And I'm not sure Kobe.
Dwight Howard was an all-star year in and year out, and he ran him out of town.
That doesn't excuse the behavior. Just because you acted the way
But we all
won,
love him, though. We all love him, right?
We do like Kobe now, yes. And he's
love
regal.
him.
But in real time, I don't think people did like him. He had zero friends in the NBA.
I read the Jordan rules growing up.
If you don't think there's a difference between Kobe and Dre, I don't know what to tell you.
I'm not saying that. I preface
Steve
this.
Jobs can do one thing. The guy working at the Apple Genius Bar can do something else.
Shasky, I preface this by saying Draymond Green is not Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
He's not even close.
Yeah.
But all those guys yell at their team. LeBron James gets people traded, and you call him the GOAT. LeBron James has got multiple people traded.
And I don't love that either.
Throwing teammates under the bus just happens. Let's just say, hey, Draymond Green's the only one to yell at referees. Half this league yells at the refs. Half the league.
Yeah, but half the league
I'm not going to
get
exonerate
thrown
the
out.
referees.
No.
Referees have never been worse. Never been worse in this league.
Just because everyone's doing it, Dre's the only one who has, like, if you bring up Draymond Green to someone who's not a Warrior fan, the first thing they think of is he's completely insubordinate to the officials at all times.
And he's a 4-time champion.
Both are
and you
true.
don't win these championships without him.
Well, of course.
The same guy we've grown to love is why we love him. We love that stuff. All of a sudden, now we don't like it.
No, I never liked it. I never liked it. While he was, I'll never forget. It's the Ian Clark game. They're beating the Rockets with no Steph because he hurt his knee on a wet floor in Houston. And I'm saying to myself, why are you tussling with Michael Beasley? We're going back 6 years, 7 years. I remember in real time, like, what are you doing? You're gonna get. We do this every year. Oh my God, he's got X amount of flagrants. Right. If he gets any more, he's gonna be suspended.
You guys were worried about the technical thing last year. I remember last season. Oh man, he's got this. Draymond always pushes the line. He knows when he's getting sick. He knows what time it is. He knows when to shut it down and not get that technical to get suspended. He knows what about the flagrant points. He's cognizant. I think we underestimate how smart he is.
Well, if he's so smart, then he should have never gotten himself in the situation he did with LeBron James. Like, he's got, if it's not one thing, it's a laundry list of things.
That was on LeBron. And we know Kiki Vanaway did the Cavaliers in the NBA. He bailed them out. They wanted that series extended to 7 games. There's no doubt in my mind. LeBron James was off his rocker because he knew the Warriors were up 3-1 and he was getting no championship.
Bonta, again, it's not this singular act. It's the totality of the body of work over a long period of time. That's how I judge relationships, right? That's how I judge people. I don't judge them on their most heinous or glorious acts that they do, right? It's the body of work over a long period of time. That's how I run things. And look, Draymond is a very complicated person. He's a champion. They don't win a damn thing without him. Also, he does a lot of things that annoy the living hell out of me and a lot of other Warrior fans.
What about this, though? What about Stephen Curry? Does it matter that Stephen Curry wants him on this team?
That's the number one.
Does it matter that Steph Curry wants to play with him?
And Jordan Poole.
Does that do anything?
But this is where, and do you see me
They want to play with him.
But do you see me this morning being outraged about lack of a punishment?
No, you're outraged about Draymond yelling at the referees. Who cares?
No, it's this guy and what he's done over a long, long period of time. He drives me nuts. And again, I admit it. Can't live with him, can't live without him. But what I would say is I'm not outraged about a lack of suspension or whatever because I'm not in that locker room.
Yeah.
And I feel that, yes, Steph Curry, the greatest player in the history of the organization, he does have the cachet in a league that's power player driven. He has the equity that he's built up through his body of work and him and Steve Kerr and Bob Myers to me to where if they feel this is the best course moving forward, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and let it play out.
I trust them like when they selected Wiseman. I trusted this front office and coaching staff. When they selected Jordan Poole, I trusted them. When they traded for Kelly Oubre Jr., I trusted them. When they traded for Andrew Wiggins, I trusted this organization. I trust them with this situation. They believe that Draymond Green's not going to get suspended. The hell what I think. It's about what the players think. It's about what the organization thinks. And they think that Draymond Green, they find him, and they think he's able to go for ring night. And who the hell am I to say, hey, he shouldn't be playing ring night? But the players feel like that.
Yes, it's a great point. And I also feel like it's also fair for the fan base and the rest of the league and everybody who covers this to be watching with a magnifying glass as things move forward. That's what's going to happen. And if you don't think that's what's going to happen, then you're probably fooling yourself.
Oh, of course it's going to happen. Of course, it's the champs.
I mean, I can already envision now TNT. And we've got Draymond Green and Jordan Poole. Every high five, every huddle, every timeout as guys are coming. It's all going to be screwed.
What I would say to that, get over it and watch the game. That's why we have the games. Let's break down the games. I'm not going to sit here every single day and break down every single handshake between Jordan Poole and Draymond Green saying, oh, was it fake? Was it real? Is it tough love?
But this is
I ain't got time for that.
But this is the NBA where guys are load managing the entire season. That's why they're trying to build it.
But I'm not going to focus on that.
The players have told us that the regular season isn't as important as we want it to be. So of course we're going to look at the drama and the sideshow stuff.
Let's go to G in San Francisco. G, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, you guys, how y'all doing this morning?
What's up, man? We're having fun.
Hope y'all doing good. Yeah. Tell me this the last time we're going to talk about this. We got the judgment. We got what the team going to do. We got what they want to do. It's time to move on, man. The youngsters played great last night.
I'm with you.
That's what we should be focusing on. Trying to go get this championship. And this is what it's all about anyway. This is basketball. This is not our particular family and anything that we got to worry about. They handled it the way they needed to, and that's it, and that's all. I mean, y'all Warrior fans, stop listening to haters like Kendrick Perkins, too.
Well, wouldn't you agree it's not going to go away because Jordan Poole still hasn't talked. And, people do want to hear from Jordan Poole.
Do want to hear from JP.
And I'm not even trying to be that guy, the media deserves it. I'm not
just the media.
I don't even consider myself part of the media, even though I am. Jordan Poole does have to talk, and we have to hear that, and so it's not going to go away.
Word. As soon as he does that, let's please put this to bed.
I hope. I want to win a second ring. I want him to win back-to-back. We should be celebrating Steph all year.
Where you talking about it?
What's that?
Man.
What'd you say, G?
I said, Shasky, stop talking like you're going out on a date with Draymond about all the things you hate about this man. Let this grown man do what he gonna do, man, and be himself. You know what I mean? We don't have a heaven or hell to put none of these dudes in. What we need to do every day, look in that mirror and fix who that is. That's what we work on. All
right, G. Take it easy. Sounds like the people. It does sound like there's a certain segment of the fan base who wants him gone, and a certain segment of the fan base saying, "Get over it. Let's go play ball."
So I'm supposed to look in the mirror on how I'm talking about Draymond, but Draymond doesn't.
Don't focus on that.
No, I know, but it's one of the things.
Maybe Draymond Green is looking in the mirror and saying that.
And to my point earlier, time will tell.
Yeah, no doubt.
Time will tell.
Hey, let's get back to the line. Very electric conversation. Steve Kerr mentioned last night after the game that Draymond Green will not be suspended. So, Warrior fans, how are you feeling about that? Justin, Danker, Steven, Leroy, we'll get to you on the other side. Thank you for all the calls so far this morning. Very fun show. That's what's coming up. Sponsored by Save Mart and Lucky, California.
Tomorrow, the Warriors rookies are live in studio with Damon and Ratto.
The Golden State Warriors select Patrick Baldwin Jr.
Patrick Baldwin Jr. and Ryan Rollins are hanging out with Damon and Ratto live in studio.
How about an NBA comparison to Ryan Rollins? Maybe like a CJ McCollum?
Tomorrow, only on 95.7 The Game.
Kirby, they're your driveway mechanic, and they bring the shop to you. And our friends over at Kirby just won the Motor Top 20 Award for innovation. Brakes and tire replacements, oil changes, and more. They've added an Kirby's eco-friendly wash, and I used it. It barely uses any water, and it made my car look brand new. They use all biodegradable products that provide the ultimate shine and protection for both the exterior and, the best part, the interior of my car, all in the ease of my driveway. I went nowhere. It was the ultimate convenience, easy booking, transparent pricing, on-time arrival, service in my driveway. No waiting rooms, no coordinating rides, direct access to my mechanic. Friendly and reliable service, no middlemen, and the best part, no upsells. No fraudulence. Get $50 off your first oil change with the code OIL50. That's OIL50. Or you can use my special code Joe Wash, JOEWASH, to get a free sealant treatment with the purchase of a Kirby's eco-friendly wash. Check out Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com or call 1-866-KIRBY-1.
At Lucky California, every day is full of fresh possibilities. Try their USDA Choice Beef. It's deliciously tender and marbled for flavor. This week, Choice Beef New York Steak, bone-in, is just $5.99 per pound in the Max Pack. Lucky California. Come see what's fresh.
Everything, our farm, our stand, our pop-up shop. It really all started when we discovered the benefits of local, raw honey for our family.
And then we decided to turn it into a business.
We were looking for something to help us get up and running.
So we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account.
It's more than a bank account. It comes with Quick Accept, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere in the U.S. using the Chase mobile app. Plus, we get same-day deposits at no extra cost. For us, it's more than honey. It's about sharing a little sweetness with the world.
Get the Chase Business Complete Banking Account with the essentials you need to help get your business going. Learn more at chase.com/business-complete-banking. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Quick Accept is not available in U.S. territories. Enrollment required. Usage subject to approval. Same-day deposits available for payments before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday to Friday. Fees and rates apply for checking and processing. Limitations and restrictions apply. Participants compensated. Merchant services provided by Payment Tech LLC and WePay Inc. Subsidiaries of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Do you think all premium fuels are the same? Well, your engine doesn't. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus helps keep your engine running like new because it's engineered to defend against 4 main engine threats: gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. So next time, choose Shell's most advanced fuel ever. It's fuel for thought. In engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline.
This is your time to cash in at Cash Creek Casino Resort. To rock and to roll. Over the hills and bluffs. Go all out or go all in. With 4 stars and rising stars. Now we do more than ever, so you can do as much or as little as you want. It's your time to cash in at Cash Creek Casino Resort.
As you know, sports teams plan well ahead of the next season. If you're thinking of remodeling your home, consider the same strategy. Talk with your designer or builder now about your next project. Golden State Window and Door has new inventory coming online. Milgard, Anderson, and Marvin. See Golden State Window and Door's wide variety of accessories at convenient showrooms across the Bay Area or goldenstatelumber.com. Since 1954. Golden State. When you succeed, we succeed.
Don't waste your time trying to sell your old car. Donate it to Cars for Kids. It's the easiest and fastest way to donate your car and get a tax deduction. Donate online at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your car today.
For Butch's Coffee. For EJ's Sandwich Shop. For Springfield Family Dental.
Every day, Staples helps every kind of small business create bold signs that sing. And now get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. Ends 12/31. Visit staplesconnect.com/thisisyoursign for details.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7 with supplies and solutions for every industry and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For Butch's Coffee. For EJ's Sandwich Shop. For Springfield Family Dental.
Every day, Staples helps every kind of small business create bold signs that sing. And now get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. Ends 12/31. Visit staplesconnect.com/thisisyoursign for details.
Mostly cloudy, a high of 62 degrees in San Francisco today.
Weather brought to you by one thing. Install a low-flow shower head and keep water off when brushing teeth or shaving to save water every day. Join Odyssey, and together each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow.
Hey everybody, it's Boomer Esiason here. When a part of your offense isn't firing on all cylinders, it shows. And sometimes the only solution is to replace that part with something new. It's true on a championship team, and it's also true with cars. That's why I love eBay Motors. They have all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, by the way. And that way you can get the parts that you need to make your car a winner. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
Is your old bulk tank water heater dying? That's a good thing, because now you have the perfect excuse to get that Navien tankless water heater. Hot water as much as you need, only when you need it. Your old tank hot water heater kept pouring your money into itself. A Navien only heats water when you need it heated. Rest of the time, you're just saving the bucks. Put new life into your hot water. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com today and check out Navien's strong warranty too. Water, heat it only when you need it with Navien.
Score big with Xfinity Internet. It's made to do anything, so you can do anything. Supercharge your home with the game-changing speed of supersonic Wi-Fi. With 3 times more bandwidth, it covers the field and then some. And blocks billions of threats with advanced security that helps keep you protected at home and on the go. If you're keeping score, that's internet that does it all. That's unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas.
This is Andre Iguodala, and you are listening to The Morning Roast with Bonta and The Butcher on 95.7 The Game.
We got Iggy. What up, Iggy? Oh, actually, he doesn't like to be called Iggy.
You know what?
Iguodala.
I should do an intro for his podcast. Return the favor.
You should return the favor. I love how you always just say you. It's just all about you.
Well, I mean, you get all the love on television.
No, I don't.
Andre, it's Bonta Hill, NBC Bay Area.
Gets the love. I'm just, I'm a placeholder.
I'll be real. I would love to be Mully's wingman.
I want Iguodala
for like 6 months. Just be his wingman.
Basically, just want my job.
Well, I want the runoff. Like whatever he doesn't get, all the freebies and stuff. I want all the runoff.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Doors just open up when you're Chris Mullin.
It does. He lives a good life. What up, Mully?
Hey, Bonta, this guy. Bonta, this guy.
Hey, man, that's my guy. By the way, some breaking news when it comes to Davante Adams. He was charged this morning by the courts of Kansas City.
Really?
With misdemeanor assault.
I mean, we're really going to jam up the courts with this? I mean, really? This is where common sense is just...
So...
Is the guy okay? Is he physically okay?
Yeah.
Can we move on?
Well, we're not moving on from Draymond yet.
I'm talking about for
Davante and the kids.
It's just so
wants to
weak.
get paid.
It's just so weak. But this is what's wrong with society.
I heard we were part of some gold-blooded season ticket video or something like that with the Golden State Warriors. Somebody texted that in earlier on the Xfinity Mobile text line. Nice. Love to see that. To see that.
I would too.
I love that.
I know we were part of the NBA Finals portion.
Final TV.
Yeah,
that was sick.
More you than me, but I was in there.
Hey,
I was all in the videos.
You know what's funny about that? Is the camera guy comes in But we take it behind the show, behind the scenes, the side show.
And you were really ready to perform.
No. So I tell Shasky, when the guy comes, I say, hey, Shasky, man, remember, man, this is a video. Don't try to be Russell Westbrook here. Pass the ball a little bit. And then we watched the video.
You telling others to pass the ball.
No. I pass it really well. That's why they call me Jason Kidd around here. That's why everybody wants to do a show with me. They're like, man, we love doing shows. And Bonta, man, he passes a rock. We get touches. Stephen Langford was so long-winded with me. He goes, man, am I too long-winded? This is fun. It's like, yeah, I let you talk. When Shasky does a show, I saw Shasky with like 15 straight Xfinity Flex moments while I was in Europe. I was like, damn, dude.
Well, it's the Patrick Ewing effect.
It's like, dude, can you beat John? Well, don't beat John Stockton. Beat Scott Skiles for a day. 30 assists here and there. But that video.
You're John Wall.
That video, I did do a lot of talking.
So what'd the guy say? I mean, what's the point of the story?
I know, you brought up the mini movie where I read it to the guy, by the way, I forget his name. We were texting, but he was like, dude, that was so good. I wanted to put so much more in there. But with the Golden Gate Bridge coming in, with the microphone coming in, I wish they got the face. They didn't get my face. They just got the beard, and I didn't have a haircut. It was looking kind of rough, So that's my only complaint about that.
Yeah, you knew it was a big day. I wore a button up and did my hair.
Yeah, you did do that. Wait, that's where we're laughing because we are going back and forth with Draymond Green. Of course, Steve Kerr announced yesterday after the game that Draymond Green will not be suspended. He'll rejoin the team Thursday. He'll play the preseason finale Friday. Why do you do that? Like when Joe Lacob comes in the studio, you wear a button up, you tuck in the button up, which makes you look really nerdy, and then you slick back the hair. And I'm like, dude, you don't got to do all that. You look like I did when I was working at Costco. Tucking in the shirt, belt all out. It's like, you don't have to do all that. Why do you do that?
Nerd!
I didn't. That's Loveman. I didn't do that. You're not a nerd. But why do you do that? Hey, we got a sales meeting, man. You'd be all dapper.
I was told you got to dress the part to look the part, and I was always told, and actually I've got a little something for the sideshow. The only place you can find the sideshow is going to be if you subscribe to our podcast feed in, is it iTunes? What do they call it? Apple Podcasts?
Apple, yeah, Spotify,
So we're going to do
all
a quick little sideshow. I will tell a story. It's my Larry David story about being underdressed at a big, important event. It was the most anxiety-filled, uncomfortable 2 hours of my life.
You were underdressed?
Yes. Wow. I don't even listen to my own words, but we'll get to that later. Let's get back into Draymond on the show.
By the way, I didn't ask you about the Olympic Club. I know you had an MC event, and you asked me, hey, is Anna around? I want to get her opinion on a shirt and tie. I was like, well, call Michelle. Michelle's probably tired of you that day. Huh?
She wasn't accepting my Facebook or my FaceTime calls at that moment. She was on a call for work.
Is that the worst?
That's the worst.
And then if you don't pick up the call.
So I went to Nash, he's my dresser, and he told me what was up.
He is good with fashion. He is good. All right, let's get back to the calls. Let's go to Justin in San Jose. Justin, what's happening? You're on the roast. Justin, going once? Going twice? He gone. Let's get to Leroy in Oakland. Leroy, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, what's going on, Bonta? Shasky.
What's up, Leroy?
It's good to be on with you guys. Man, it's good to be on with you guys. Bonta, I miss you, man. I be working so much, and I can't get on in the morning, so I'm running late this morning. So I just want to say real quick, guys, hey, look, Draymond, I like that he didn't get suspended, and I would have actually liked for him to be at practice right after that happened, the next day or the next 2 days, and here's why. Take your medicine naturally. Have to be around the guys and look those guys in the eyes at practice and get the cold shoulder from some guys and let him feel that his teammates was not with what he did. He should have been back in practice the next day. And on opening night, I hope they do let him participate. And I hope the fans boo him to high heaven. And this will be the humble pie that Draymond needs. And I want to say something about maturity, too. We look at Draymond and we see how many years he's been in the league, but he's only 32 years old. Bonta and Shasky, I got a 30-year-old. And sometimes I'm just like, dude, you just don't get it. And how much is he removed? How much is he removed from 28? The things he was doing at 28. 27, not much removed, and I'm just like, he has to grow up maturity-wise, and I just think that's lost.
Leroy, not to cut you off, but it's very interesting. So let me get this straight. because great call. And I love hearing from you. I heard John Steiny and Goody the other day. You want Draymond Green. You didn't want him to be suspended. You want him at practice. However, you think you want him to boo. You want the fans to boo on ring night.
Yeah, because I just think that Draymond needs to know that he is one of the leaders of this team. He is the veteran presence of this team. And that's just not okay to do. It's not okay to walk in a grown man's face and put your nose in his face. It's just not cool. I mean, he initiated everything, and I just want him to feel from the fan base. We love you, Draymond. We love you, man. I got your jersey. I'm going to continue to wear it. But we need to speak on this, and we need to let him know that that is not acceptable.
Leroy,
he can do it by booing. I love it.
No, Leroy,
thanks for the call.
It's an interesting perspective, and clearly you've lived a life where you've got lots of experiences to draw from, where it feels like you've thought about this for quite some time. I hadn't considered at all him having the peer pressure of going right back into the cauldron, if you will, of being with his teammates. And I'm sure the organization would have their reasoning on why they would want to have him removed from that. I'm sure a lot of corporations, because we forget that it is a corporation on some level, they're like, hey, for safety, maybe we remove the individual to allow things to breathe. But it is an interesting point about having to go back and face the people that you've wronged right then and there and having to look them in the eye and feel that awkwardness.
Yeah. Well, I just wonder when it goes to ring night, because Leroy said, look, I want him to be booed. I love Draymond Green, but he needs to be booed. That scene, ring night, will Draymond Green get booed? We're not there yet, but I do find it interesting that moment, because usually I've been to a couple ring nights now, not a humble brag, but I kind of do my thing. I've seen it, been it. We'll see all the clips. We'll see him getting the rings, whatever.
You're getting a ring.
No, I'm not getting a ring. Why would I get a ring? I don't work for the Warriors. I work for 95.7 The Game and NBC.
So you've been to a couple.
And I don't really pay attention to ring night. Like when players get their rings or whatnot and they're doing their thing, I'll wait for the videos or whatnot. I go get my food and stuff. It's all good. We've seen ring nights over the years when the Lakers win, when the Spurs win, whatever. It's fun for the fans. I get it. But this year, I will be hell-bent to see what happens when Draymond Green gets announced.
Cognizant.
I will be very cognizant of that situation. I'll be aware of, like, all right, will the fans boo? I'll have the camera up to get the reaction, all the stuff. Like, I think it's fascinating for this fan base. A guy helping you win the 4th championship in this situation with Jordan Poole, all of a sudden you get the ring night. Will the fans actually boo Draymond Green? Wow.
I'll speak for myself. If I'm in the arena, and I don't even know if I'm going to go yet, but if I am in there, I will not boo.
But you won't cheer?
I don't know. I think I will. I think I would.
Will you pull a Bud Selig on Barry Bonds?
What, just hands in the pocket?
Hands in the pocket?
No, I wouldn't do that. I'll probably, give a couple claps because I can kind of separate, and this is just me, sometimes the art from the artist, right? And in this particular instance, what he did last year needed to be recognized. Am I happy with him right now and moving forward? Not necessarily, know. I'm frustrated with him. But at the same time, for me to boo someone, man, that feels a little too far from me. That's just me. I'm sure others will do other things. I mean, we've had the national anthem conversation forever. Like, when I'm doing the national anthem, how I'm raised, I take my hat off, I put it over my heart, and I try to sit there quietly and enjoy the moment. And sometimes I'll sing the national anthem. Others are entitled to do what they want. They can continue going to the restroom, getting food, not paying attention. So however you want to cheer during, or boo, or whatever during the ring night, that's up to you.
I don't want to talk about the national anthem, but it is very interesting. I've been to a lot of games where people didn't give a damn about the national anthem. I see people on their cell phones, wearing their hats and everything. And all of a sudden we get a couple knees in the NFL and people are, oh my God, the national anthem, put your hand over your heart. No, they've done that in years. Like, I'll sing it sometimes if somebody's singing it. I'm like, damn, that's a good national anthem.
I sing.
I don't sing it all the time.
Under my breath, and then at the end, I'll sing it with them.
I don't.
I know, I'm one of those.
This country contradicts itself all the time.
For sure.
That's a conversation for a different day. Let's go to Steven in Oakland.
I get sappy, though. You know me. I'm a sap.
Yeah, I'm not. Not in this country. Steven, what's happening? You're on the roast.
No problem. So I think Leroy made a really good point. No, we're not going to boo. Let's just get that out of the way. Like, real fan here, goes to finals game. We ain't booing. Now, here's the thing. It might be a little bit quieter of a applause for Draymond, but we're not booing. The last time we booed was when Mully night.
Oh yeah, Joe Lacob.
Yeah, that was the last time we really booed, and that segues me into my next point, which is, I know you guys think the ownership has a lot of like credibility and you trust in it, but like Looney said, that trust has to be earned. The last time Draymond mouthed off to a player that we know of like this, when Durant left, one of the main problems Durant had was that the organization didn't really talk about what Draymond did after he did it.
Yes.
So I'm not going to just give this organization the trust. And if you really look at it, Draymond didn't step away from the team until the video got out.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's a pattern. I'm going to go with Steiny. It's a problem. And, we can't trust Draymond either because he wasn't supposed to get kicked out of any more playoffs.
Steven, what does that mean then?
Out of the Memphis game.
Steve, well, let's be real quick, Steven. I'm gonna let you finish your call. Let's be real about the Memphis game one. It was an overreaction to the reputation of Draymond Green on why he got kicked out that game.
Yeah, but it was also him running around in a circle.
Yeah, but no, they kicked him out before that. Which is why he ran around in the circle.
That's what I'm saying.
But he got kicked out of that game because of reputation. That was really a weak-ass ejection. Let's keep it a buck here.
No,
we replay that, it was a weak-ass ejection.
Agreed.
It was a reputation ejection.
But his reaction wasn't glorious.
Whatever, we all loved it. But, Steven, there was something.
Because they won.
Yeah, there was something. Damn, I forgot the point I was going to make to Steven. Steven, go ahead and finish your call.
Is punching someone going to help his reputation?
Absolutely not.
That's a good
absolutely
point.
not.
Well, and the KD thing is an interesting one because you are right. In one sense, I guess I am in a word contradicting myself because the way they handled KD and Draymond, clearly everybody felt scorned. KD didn't like it. Draymond didn't like it. The team didn't like it. I'm sure management looks back and Kerr addressed that. We've made mistakes.
Right.
And I don't know if he was referencing that in particular.
You know what, though?
But their overall body of work kind of speaks for itself.
And also, let's thanks for the phone call.
And this goes back to it's never one thing; it's
also,
the body of work.
I remember taking calls. It was the only week Papa and I ever took calls together.
Oh my God!
That's how big the situation. We're taking calls. Papa, open up the phone lines. All right, whatever. Like, hey, I remember the first calls.
I'll
was Robin.
take a call.
Hey, I remember the first calls was Robin.
Oh,
a lot of people were on Draymond's side there saying, "KD, suck it up. You're being soft." Remember that? That was the talking point?
I did the post-game show that night with Covey, and I'll never forget that I wanted Draymond gone. I said, if it's between Draymond and Kevin Durant, I'm choosing Kevin Durant. That was what I said. People wanted to kill me for saying that out loud. But I said, if it's between the two of them, I'm siding with KD.
Right. Well, this is a great point, Michael Hernandez. I will boo on ring night. I'll boo Dre loudly, and then the season starts, and it's behind me.
Oh, so it's kind of like Dave Roberts getting a full standing clap from the Boston Red Sox, and then after that they booed the crap out of him. It's reverse.
Wanda Rebate. You get one standing ovation. Mm-hmm. We're going to standing ovation for winning the 2010 World Series.
Yes.
And then after that, you're a Dodger. Screw you. You're dead to us.
I'm trying to think, and you have such a better memory on this. When KD came back, there was nobody in the arena, right? And he was hurt.
When? What are you talking about?
When KD came back to as a net.
Oh yeah. It was pandemic season.
So there was nobody in the arena.
He hasn't played in front of the fans yet in Oakland yet.
So that was my point. Like, he has yet to have, and I know they did a video montage, but the fans haven't had a chance to react.
Give him a standing ovation.
God, the pandemic made everything so weird.
I think he'll get a.
He should.
I'll be that petty Dub Nation.
Come on, man. He should.
Kevin Durant. He chose the Warriors. Let's get to Shaka, Lex, Greg, and then Danker. Shaka in Berkeley, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, good morning, good brothers. How y'all doing, man?
Good morning, man. Good morning.
Great.
Hey, man, I want to call because I know both of y'all are passionate about this discussion, man. I've been listening to y'all, man, I was kind of like, I didn't think Bonta was going to feel like he felt, and, I respect your opinion, man, because I respect you as a person. Mm-hmm. And you too, but what I want to say is, what I'm saying is, people need to leave his mother out of it. Like, she needs to shut up and all that. People calling on the radio.
It's out of bounds.
That's total disrespect.
Yeah,
man.
it's out of bounds.
Well said, Shaka.
Funny show, dude called after yesterday about the closing. Oh man, all these fake gangsters just on the radio, just and his mama need to be. I mean, that's just totally out of bounds, man. His mother. Mothers are protectors, and they're supposed to protect their kids. That's what they are. That's what God created them to be, man. Yep. So So with somebody getting on her, where she is in her life is right now is because of her son.
Right.
So I would expect her to be at his age.
Right.
And even remember when she was on the radio show with you when he was in Boston and he had a bad game. She said he had a bad game. I didn't recognize my son. So, but at this point, this is so serious at the end of his career. So I would expect her to protect her son.
No doubt.
Another thing I want to say. I don't think nobody was going to boo. I think it will maybe some people that don't clap, but he's over his career. When those three guys arrived, we had no championships, but one since Clifford Ray back in them days, Rick Barry, Jamal Wilkes, back then. So I was 9 years old, man. I'm an OG, man. I was 9 when they won. They didn't win till 40 years later, man. So I'm going to always look up to Draymond for bringing that intensity and that passion. Yes, it was wrong. Yes, it was wrong. He shouldn't have did it, And, Draymond's a very emotional, and I heard what was said. It was like, hey, if you wasn't for Steph, you would be out the league right now and all that. So his passion overboiled, and he did something he wasn't supposed to do.
No doubt.
And we all know that. But I'm not going to just forget all the good things that he did. Like he donated $3 million to Michigan State. I'm not going to forget all the good stuff he did. I like when Shaq slapped Kobe. There was no camera in there. Hey, Shaq slapped him.
Thanks for the call. We got to move, Shaka. We got to run. Thanks for the call,
Thanks,
Shaka. I love Shaka, man. He's active, man. He slapping. He called Butcher. I think he forgot your name for a second. That's my guy, Shaka.
He ejected halfway through the word. Boop, and he just kept moving. You know what? I respect him.
All right, let's rat-a-tat-tat. We got a couple minutes here before the changeover. Willard or Dibs, they'll have some thoughts on last night. Dibs was running hot during the break. He's going to be ready to fire about this situation. Lex in Berkeley. Let's go. Lex in Berkeley. What's happening?
Man, it was opening night of the NHL. What are we talking about? Why are you even talking about this? I'm glad that an NBA guy can throw a proper punch. If it wasn't on camera, it wouldn't have been a big deal. Stuff happens in practice. Again, he'd get 5 minutes for fighting if he was the NHL. They handle this stuff in practice all the time. You're not going to boo him. It's the logo on the front, not the name on the back. The Warriors are finally good after all these years. Everybody just needs to relax.
Hey, Lex.
Break his nose, didn't injure him.
Thank God he didn't break his nose.
Hey, Lex. That was more NHL talk than we've had in the last 7 years on this station.
There's no
Congratulations.
doubt. By the way, the Sharks were in the Czech Republic, playing in Prague. They lost to the Predators 2-0.
That's about where they should be playing these days.
Well, no, leave my San Jose Sharks alone. I actually wonder why Chase Center doesn't host the Sharks every now and then. Can they put ice on the
I saw the new uniforms.
Sharks? I want winners. I will not accept Sharks slander. Go Sharks, go. Go Sharks, go. Go Sharks, go.
The guy who only shows up to a playoff Sharks game to be there.
I finally had some time. I covered the Warriors. I can't be everywhere. Before we flex. Let's get
name a current Sharks player.
Patrick Barlow still on the team?
Oh my God, he retired, bruh.
I'm kidding. I know who the GM is. Mike Greer. Shout out Mike Greer, baby. That's all that matters. He's going to fix the Sharks. Rat-a-tat-tat. Greg, Danker, Matt, you got 30 seconds or less. Greg in Oakland, what's happening?
Hey, how you doing, man?
What's up?
First-time caller.
Thanks, Greg.
I'm at the Port of Oakland. And one of these things about Draymond, he was a great player, and he is still maybe a player who can contribute. But next season, unless he takes a pay cut, he will not be a Warrior because Wiggins and Poole have to get a bag.
No doubt. They do have to get a bag.
That's the reality of it. And we're getting old. As Warrior, a true Dub fan, the Warriors are getting longer too. We need to inject some young blood in here.
Yeah. I hear you. Let's go to Danker. Danker in the city. What's happening? They got young blood. You see Wiseman last night? You see Moody last night? Ooh, the youngins, they balling. I'm excited about the baby Dubs. Danker, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Man, what's up? I was going to talk kickers, guys.
Oh, well.
No, I'm kidding.
All right.
For real, though. Hey, I mean, the Warriors, I think a little of this goes to ownership. And to be honest, they wanted Dre to be that bad cop. And I think he might have been, maybe got a little too much self-entitlement, and it just kind of bit him. And I think things have worked themselves out, but Poole needs to make a statement, maybe have Dre sitting next to him when he signs his contract, some kind of good faith message. But, yeah, I think the Warriors kind of played a little bit of a role in this. But all right, y'all.
All right, Dinker, and then we'll end with Matt in Santa Rafael. By the way, Tomas Hertl's still on the Sharks. Tomas Hertl.
Glad you can Google.
No, I was seeing on the YouTube chat. Thank you for helping me out. They got my back.
What number is
They got
he?
my back. I don't do numbers well.
I know Mark-Edward Vlasic is 44. I believe he's 48.
What number is Hertl's? Same
Is he
Love that used to
48?
cover the
I
Sharks.
think he's 48.
Love that covered the Sharks all the time.
38.
38. There you go.
I know Brent Burns got traded. He was 88.
Lubman always covered the Sharks
Couture,
back in the day.
is he still on the team? He's 39?
I don't know. Logan Couture? I don't know. Matt in San
Couture's
Rafael.
still around.
Logan. Matt in San Rafael, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, guys, real quick. So, I'm done with the Draymond show, personally. I mean, when Steph got hurt, that was his time to step up and lead the young guys. And he comes out and says, I have a hard time playing at a high level when it's not for anything. Pretty much threw it in that year. And then what's he been since? He's a former Defensive Player of the Year who almost doesn't play defense anymore, can't hit a three to save his life, can't keep weight off in the offseason, and he's a total discipline case.
That's not correct about the defense. You got to give Draymond Green credit. The guy can still play defense.
He played great defense for the first 3 months. He obviously got hurt, and then when he came back in the playoffs, for the most part, I thought he played great defense. For the most part. There were some matchups in the final specifically where it did feel like Jaylen Brown was trying to ISO him.
Didn't work out towards the tail end of the series.
Well, the best part about it is no one can go left on the Boston Celtics. I don't know if you know this.
Yeah, no, we all know this.
Literally no one can go left.
Nobody.
We'll be working on drills going left to the cone.
Well, it won't be with Ime Udoka.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Sam Love.
I know he can go left.
Love. Oh, boy. That's a low blow.
That is. But before we go there, your boy, who was it, Shaka, who called in?
Yeah.
This is him ejecting on my name. Oh, it's the flex.
That worked out well.
It's irrelevant how I feel. What's going to be very interesting is we're got to hear from JP at some point.
Yeah, that's the final piece to this puzzle, right?
Of course. We got to hear from JP. If this locker room has determined that's the best thing to do, who am I as an outsider to come in and say they're wrong when, in my estimation, they've earned the benefit of the doubt through their work over the last decade, which Steve has kind of, alluded to. I mean, Steph Curry and Steve Kerr and Bob Myers and Joe Lacob, they have done so many things and they've navigated so many issues. Now, nothing like this.
Right.
To me, I think that they've earned the benefit of the doubt. Can I be still wondering how's this going to play out? Of course.
Right.
And it could all be kumbaya right now, and 6 weeks from now, it could blow up in their face. But I struggle not being inside that workplace, being the one to tell them what they should and shouldn't.
The Flex of the Show, presented by Xfinity Flex, the 4K streaming TV box with voice remote and Peacock Premium, free with Xfinity Internet.
Sam Love.